Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, y'all know what it is, man. We getting it in again, man. Ran into Sanchez, man. It's on Solid TV. If y'all want to see the whole episode, y'all can go over there and see it. Very interesting conversation. The man literally got calling his great-grandmother a monkey, his great-grandmother, his ancestors come from monkeys. He showed a wild picture. It was off the chain. The FBA thing is completely off the chain. Miseducation at levels I just did not expect at regular occurrences. Big up to the chat room, man. Big up to the chat, man. Lord Ghouls, man. He being the pseudo-killer. Pseudo-killer army. What's good, man? Gideon, what's good, man? Pseudo-killer, what's good, bro? Then do what up with you, man? What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, the network, what's up with you, 93? What it do, man? And been eating, man. What's going on with you? And what's up with you, Black Sun? We in here. 23,000, man. We're going to get this thing cracking so y'all can see how the conversation went. I had to wade my way through a lot of pseudoisms, a lot of people making mistakes in the conversation. Man, you know, when you study something for so long and you hear people making mistakes, even if they good, even if they saying something that's more right, ain't no such thing as more right. It just get to me, man. So I don't want y'all to think I'm a hater, because I'm certain that an expert could listen to some of the conversations I had and say, no, you need to tweak this, you need to fix that. It's par for the course. But it's hard being in an environment, man, where even the people they got parts of it right, it's making mistakes, which would render the whole thing they saying pseudoscientific. So I'm gonna let y'all get into the conversation, man. I made as much corrections as possible. And I always find myself in these situations like that. And I'm sure y'all to really study and understand and get your basic understanding of biology and evolution and the subjects we talk about. I know y'all feel the same way, man. A person that have a nice part right. Humans come from Africa, 2 migrations out of Africa, then they messed it up. Yeah, the first migration made it all the way to Africa, then they died out. No, when humans left Africa, they made it with Homo Neanderthal and their haplogroup changed. Man, boy, man. Yeah, man, yeah, it's gonna brew up for a debate. Yeah, gotta get them. Ding, ding, ding. Round 2 in the trilogy. My point is, if you think the earth is flat and your whole channel is based on that, stay out of politics. Because now you're promoting tricks. If you think the earth is flat in 2026 with AI tools in full effect, stay out of politics because you're promoting tricks. If you're not familiar with scientific literacy, and scientific literacy is what? Scientific literacy helps you produce in your community. It helps you understand what your civic duty is. And this is the issue that's in our quote unquote conscious community. They have no scientific literacy. They don't know what they're supposed to do. This is the issue in the general African American community. Not enough scientific literacy being fostered, right? We looked up the definition. It's clear. It helps you understand your civic duties, man. And it helps you understand what you're supposed to do economically, man. Who could fight that? And it helps you understand scientific ideas. And if you're having conversation around our history, which is FBA, which is a conversation around our history, scientific literacy will help you. I'm gonna be on Dr. Mayash's channel Friday, and we got some pseudo channels that we just gotta talk about. Promoting the Egyptian name, but give you pseudo-scientific ideas about our history. We're gonna go into that. We got to. Man, boy, man, I'm glad that y'all here, man. What's up, Detroit? Asal Mayat, what's good with you, man? Boy, it's a rumble. Y'all see the title, man. Brother Ankh versus FBA Sanchez addressing misinformation. FBA pushes. Huh? Where is that? That ain't it. All right. Man, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the Pseudo Killers, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the House of Consciousness. You know, I'll be House of Consciousness. You know, I'll be over there in a couple hours, man. Doing the show I got over there, man. Y'all should show up over there and support me, man. Not enough of y'all be in the building. All right. Man, you show up because we're gonna show out. That's what we do, man. So big up to Sarnetta and you know, just giving me a chance to beat the hell out of the pseudo. Line them up. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the king horses and all the king men could not put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's what be happening to the pseudos because science, ladies and gentlemen, is undefeated. So let's get it going.
The status quo. But right now, the status quo with Donald Trump. So I did a whole presentation. Donald Trump is saying he's seizing all this revenue from on the guise of drug trafficking, but there are victims of drug trafficking, and that's us, right? So there should be a fund, right? Since it's for the victims of drug trafficking, there's no other group in America that is caught as much hell for drug trafficking than us, right? So that's I say there should be a fund, right, created for the victims of drug trafficking that would benefit our people. And But I find that people, don't even entertain those type of ideas and show the contradictions of the right wing. So they seem to be MAGA, or I'm gonna call them beggar, right? I'm gonna put the B in front of it, right? Because they black, right? Blacks making up the old America great, right? So they're beggars. So mega, and then there's our people who ride with them. They're the beggars, right? They don't want to do anything. But I'm gonna stop. I'm just glad that you are one of those people who are calling yourself FBA for the legacy, for what they owe us, what they have done to us, where we should go. But you have to understand that Tariq Nasheed, whatever he did, he's a great marketing person. The people underneath them are the most xenophobic, unhistorical, and I've been around in this movement for 40 years. I ain't never seen none of them jokers in real black movement, in real black organization.
FBA bigger than the internet, but I feel where you going. I want to go here, man. We got to talk about this part too, Reggie, everybody. People gonna get mad at me for what I'm about to say. The woman that got shot was wrong, right? Because she hit the gas. Let's just hear me out now. And listen, I don't agree with her being unalive. I think that the cop should have, because what happens is this: cops get drugged by the car. So they have passed a law to where if the cop tell you to stop the car, put it in park, and you slam on the gas, they can use lethal force. Now, listen, I don't agree with the cops using lethal force every time, but that's a law that they passed. And I agree with our people knowing the law, so you don't get shot up thinking that the car ain't a lethal weapon. A lot of our people don't know that they can get shot up by pressing on the gas. I'm here to tell you today, if the police tell you to put the car in park and take your foot off the gas, if you hit that gas, it's like pulling a gun out. That's something very important. People die like that, and they don't know the law. So that's why I said the lady did, and I don't necessarily agree with that law. They would say, but polices get drugged all the time. Well, they in a dangerous damn career field. They signed up for it. Whoop-de-doo. You know, that's kind of how I see it. But again, I'm not an ICE agent. You know the cops gonna want the law to work in their favor. But the thing is, she did hit the gas, and I knew that them racist white cops was gonna shoot her. It was sad, but she was wrong.
Stop. Wait 1 second. First of all,
Ray, let me jump in, Ray.
Wait, you're not even in the conversation.
I am in the conversation. I just heard Reggie. You just
popped in. I just wanted to ask something.
Reggie, but I wanted to jump in after him, Reg. Come on.
Right, but that's something that you wanted to do. But before you got on, I was talking to Brother Sanchez.
Well, what that got to do with anything, though? Y'all not having a conversation, y'all. You said what you said.
Reggie land in, and you just hop in. Salutes to you, Just let him land on that.
Hey, yo, Reggie gonna talk you to death.
Because I knew this.
All right. Come on, y'all. Sanchez, you can turn on your camera?
Hey, Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm about to come back. Let me put this incense out.
Oh, good, brother. Do your thing.
They treated her like they would treat Black people with no discretion.
You're right.
And that's all I really want to say. But you know what? I'm going to just listen, because there you go. That's just how it works.
Yeah, this is going to be
it's just a gentleman's game at this point, though. Reggie, you did a whole lecture just now. You made your points.
All right, don't address Reggie. Just
I'm addressing the person that addressed me. Let me make my point. I'm simply saying Reggie got off his clean points. Sanchez got off his clean points. Let me get off my clean points. That's not the actual law. Okay? The car being a lethal weapon, there's not that. There's certain criterion to that, right? That actually did not fit that. So, no, first of all, police officer is directed not to stand in front of a car. That's the first thing. First point. Second point, it barely hit him, right? So under no circumstance do you shoot a person in the side of the head like that. Now, as African Americans, we see this all the time. It was shocking to see a white person shoot another white person like that. We've been seeing that type of thing happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the uproar is. That's how they operate. In all our communities, we never get the benefit, right? So I'm just saying as a human being, right? there has to be, where's the benefit to that? They're like meaning there's a law, there's the letter of the law, and based off of that, the lady shouldn't have got shot up like that. But we never catch that. People ignore the law when it comes to us. So I agree with that point.
And
right?
a lot of things that
I'm not gonna sit there, right, and see what I saw. Because if it happened to white people one time, it's going to continue to happen to us 30 times. So whenever we see the wrong going, we got to fight that. That's all I'm saying.
And one more thing to add on, I'm gonna let you go. Sanchez, I'm gonna let you go. When y'all look at the video again, you could see that the car passed the police. It passed them. And when you look at it in slow motion, you'll see the car passed him, and that's when he's just shot him. Bow, bow, bow. I think it was 3 shots he shot in there.
And then he says stupid B word. He says stupid B.
Hold on. You know what? So as human beings, right? When a person makes you mad, right? Somebody do something to you, you felt that they wronged you, you be like, you do it, you like, B. So he was already there, yo. So basically, she was a heckler, right? You can see in her face, she was just messing with him. At no point did she think it was going to turn to lethal force. He's seen it. As human beings, I talk about this on the previous show, right? It's called the theory of the mind. We think we know what another person is thinking. So based off of her smiling, based off of her just cracking jokes, at no point was she aggressive to the point where the police felt like his life was in danger. It's crazy.
Now, this same police officer that shot the lady, a week before that, he got drugged by a car. So I think he was paranoid already. And my thing is, if he just got drugged last week, it should have been some kind of let's let him. That let me know he's a gun-ho cat. You just got drugged next week and you in front of a car again. He's one of those kind of white guys that's waiting for you to do something where he can get away with killing you. And she didn't, and that's what we dealing with. That's why I said we gotta learn from that lady. Because I know a lot of folks, I'm watching videos every day of people pull off on speeding tickets and they ain't getting shot, but they could, and the police can beat it. You know what I'm saying? So this is a learning lesson. People don't like when I say she was wrong. That don't mean I'm taking up for the cop. It's mean I'm saying you need to know the law. She was probably thinking, I'm mad, I'm just gonna send them on a little chase right quick and maybe I'll cool off and stop. She wasn't thinking, when I hit this gas, that's my life. She wasn't thinking that.
Heck, no, you're absolutely right. At no point, but that's the point. Like that happens to us in our community on a regular occurrence, right? So the fake outrage by people that look like me and you is wild, right? Because this is what we talking about, right? Like, okay, I know your police. I know there's certain rules and regulations of a person trying to escape in the middle of a crime and they use the car as a lethal weapon. The police got a right to shoot you. But this lady was just being smart alecky, haggling the ISIS police, right? And she tapped him and she hit him, right? When she tapped him, he know he wasn't wounded.
Yeah.
Pumped him, right? He was already reaching for the gun. Y'all seen that, right?
Yeah.
Why are you reaching for the gun? You should have been getting out the way, bro. It was like he didn't want the lady to get away. And then he called her a B. Because see, first of all, human beings will frustrate you at times. We get frustrated all the time, yo. Sometimes with these calls, we get frustrated, yo, and you wish you could smack the heck out of them. But you know, this is, you know what I'm saying? You know, that ain't something you do. But go ahead, Reggie. Jump in, Reggie. Before you start talking about I'm brother Reggie and acting crazy for no reason. Well, I tell you, boy.
And how big of a problem do you think illegal immigration is to Black people?
Well, I don't. First of all, they don't even occupy the spaces that we want to even occupy. So I don't actually have a problem with that. But I know it's rules and regulations, and I think people should follow rules and regulations. That's what I think. I think I'm saying if there's rules and regulations, right, you can't get mad. That's my point. If you get caught doing your thing, you can't actually get mad. That's all. That's my point.
I got a little pushback on that because that's what they was telling me. I was debating FBAs on my channel. I'm FBA, by the way. Cats was joining, and they was like, You know what I'm saying? It's rules and they ain't following. But remember, it was a rule where it was okay to treat us a certain way, though.
Of course.
The same people had rules again. That's why I said we playing a crazy game trying to help them enforce these rules that don't even benefit us either.
Well,
you know,
Brother
because
Sanchez,
I think
that's the point. The point that you're making is the point.
Hey, Reggie, let him finish first, and then you could go in, because you cut him right off. Just let him finish, Reggie, and then you go right behind him.
Okay, and I'll just land right here then. The reason why I'm saying we playing a crazy game, getting behind ICE, because what happened on my show yesterday, I had to ask these FBAs. I said, listen, bro, you think if you didn't get behind ICE that they wouldn't kick the immigrants out? And that's when they get quiet. Take the mic, Reggie. You got it. Salute.
Okay, so I was saying that's the point. And Sarnetta, when you moderate, you expert moderator, but then when other people come on, right? Then you should moderate this. You should moderate the same, right? We're all grown people here, right? So the point is, Brother Sanchez, is the exact point is that white people didn't think that the ICE situation could come back home to them. That's why they're at mass, because it came back. They thought, in a sense, that they was reading the headlines on the so-called illegal immigration of people of color. They found out that it came back to them, that it hurt their civil liberties, and that's why they're up in arms. The other part of it is what is happening with the Somali immigrants in America, in Minnesota. First of all, we never asked them to come here, right? We never asked that group of Africans to come here, right? They came here for America's position because they were always going to send them back, because they was going to westernize this group of Somalis, right? And send them back to destabilize Somalia. So we're looking at it as, oh, they're just attacking them. No, they always were going to send that group back, right? So that's why you have this whole division with Somaliland. So you have a Western fed, like cattle fed group of Africans that were brought here and put in places where Black Americans live, to hold this group. And so the attack on them is really just a facade, because when you listen to them back in Africa, we don't want to be here. We want to go. They want to be westernized, not necessarily Americanized. They want the Western creature comforts, and they will fight and die for that. So that's what I have to say about that. So we didn't ask for those groups of people here. They never integrated with us, right? They're not Pan-African, right? And we have no control of them coming here or leaving, right? But they're in our space. And unfortunately, we have this thing where we look at skin color and we don't look at anything else. So just because you're Black doesn't mean that you're kin folks. So we should have it has nothing to do at all with us, right? And it has nothing to do with Pan-Africanism, because they're not Pan-Africanists, right? Or they're not Black nationalists. They're a cultural group in America for a short term, and they're going to be used as mercenaries in the wars in Africa. I'll stop right there.
All right. Let me move on to the other brother. What's up, man? What's your name, brother? Maul, what's up, man? Yo? All right, look like you froze. Let me kick you out.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, let me kick you out. Let me go to my little man right here. Humble, what up, Humble?
What up, Si? What up to everybody on the panel? What it do, brother?
What's good, Humble?
Chilling. So
what's up, Bomb Squad? Big up to the Bomb Squad.
What up? So
yeah, peace to you, family. Peace.
A little bit of what I was just listening to. A huge issue I have with FBA is the separation of they're trying to make melanated Americans different from melanated Africans. And simply when we go back through history, we know we, the current people now, have a mix of both, right? Some of us might have a mix of both, some of us might, but when it comes to melanin, Brother Reggie said something earlier about all skin folk and kinfolk. But we got to realize the white people don't distinguish the difference, right? They don't look at an African coming over here and an African American over here and say, oh, well, they're not the same people. No, both of them are black. The only difference is we paying him money to come over here and do what he do, so we don't have to give the melanated man over here a position that he should already have. But we have to stop trying to separate Africans and Americans. We're called African American for a reason. That's number one. Number two, when we talking about the dude that was driving the car and that shot the lady that was driving the car and a dude that shot her in the head, police do have getaway rights, right? When the car is getting away from them, pursuit rights, they do have pursuit rights. The first thing a police is supposed to do, right, when a car is getting away from them is to attempt to make a traffic stop. That means the first thing they're supposed to get in their car and do is get in that car and turn on their sirens. The next thing they're supposed to do is radio for dispatch, right, to describe the vehicle, describe the destination, describe what the person looked like. The person is never supposed to shoot. The officer is never supposed to shoot a getaway driver. Never. So
unless they feel like the car is going
unless the car is an illegal threat. But if the car is a getaway, see, is a difference between a getaway driver and a legal threat. A legal threat is a car that's trying to hit you, coming towards you.
Yeah, you're right.
A getaway driver is someone who's getting away from you.
She was definitely a getaway driver.
But there's a big difference.
Maybe she would have got his toe or something rolled over, but it wouldn't have been.
There's a big difference in what Brother Humble was saying to that incident. See, everything that he's saying is correct when it comes to a police officer, but ICE agents go by different standards. As a matter of fact, this administration's ICE agents don't have no badges, don't have the same demands that a police officer has. So that's why there's so much protest, because of how this administration is handled.
So do ICE agents not have to follow human natural rights?
Hey, guess what? Let me tell you how crazy
not by this administration. This administration is allowing them to violate people's constitutional rights.
So why are they here? They here with no jurisdiction?
They're here to militarize American people, and we've been warning that this was gonna come, and they rolling it out in a way that we don't even see it. We looking at it like an illegal immigration thing when it's really a police state we about to enter.
Right.
No, it's being seen because we understand that Donald Trump is trying to enact the Insurrection Act, which will allow him to militarize the cities. And he needs a riot, he needs commotion, he needs unrest in the streets, because that's the only way that he'll be able to have full control and autonomy without the checks and marks of the Congress or the Supreme Court. So we understand this. Politicians or Democrats are all on all kind of different news channels expressing this. So there's an effort and a fight against Donald Trump's efforts, but it doesn't mean that he won't succeed. So our community have to be conscious in his efforts to try to militarize and change the way this country is ran. Because it's not going to benefit us if we go into a dictatorship.
Right.
And people don't see that. That's what ICE represent the beginning of. It's crazy that they don't.
I got a question. I think I heard Brother Sanchez earlier talking about something with us in voting. Brother Sanchez, what's your point of view on our people in voting? Because I think I heard you talk about something about that.
And this is where FBA come into play. And shout out to ADOS too. I'm gonna just say FBA ADOS, right? So the thing is, if our votes are really powerful, that like our money is, we don't spend our money any kind of way. We keep it in our pocket and we be wise with it. So I think all our relationships with these white folks in politics in this country has been us playing like a pimp that got one hole going from this pimp to that pimp to back to this pimp to that
I would
pimp.
agree.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I thought that FBA was on some, you know what? We ain't getting pimped no more. The hell with the left and the right. We leveraging our votes, and we don't care who you are. You, as long as you cut the check, then we rocking with you. So if our votes, now that crazy part, if our votes is powerful, then this leverage and boycott would be successful. If it's not successful, then that let us know our efforts at the ballot box was always a game anyway. So we can't lose with this.
Let me interject in this. Let me give you some real info on politics, because our vote is powerful, but we don't utilize it correctly. There was a sister that was on the PA show the other day, and she had a great idea, and she's correct. We need to go to the populations where there are mostly Black people at, and we need to politicize that city, right? Create political capital, create an economic stronghold, and then you'll be able to vote for that city's whatever they need. They'll be able to vote and use those tax dollars to keep the people that you want in power in power. You have communities all over this country from different ethnic groups who actually do that. I mean, how many people can go into a city and every building they go into when they go in the city, it's in a different language? That's because that community has controlled the political power in that community. Our community is the only community who doesn't take advantage of their vote. Our politics are more powerful when they're local. Federal politics only are affected by the local politics that vote for that.
Let me ask you a quick question. You think if we did the vote leveraging thing on local levels in our communities, and that would have more of a benefit? That sounds like
indeed, because our judges, we would vote for the judges that we wanted in. We would vote the mayors that we would want in, and I'm not talking about the ones that other political parties pick for us, but the community actually picks for themselves. And it would even go all the way up to the Senate. We can do the House, the Senate, the governor. We can have all the people that we want. If we control our communities, we can do that. We're powerful enough to do that. We're a small percentage of the population, but we've changed policy, right? Where we had the Housing Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act. We had all of these. We even abolished slavery with our efforts, right? So it can be done. We just got to stand up and do it.
All right.
We cannot.
Yeah, let me bring on Diesel real quick. Diesel, you want to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, man, I was just listening, man. How you doing, Sanchez, by the way? I've been rocking you for a few years. You know, flat power, FMFP, you know what it is.
Oh, man, knock it off.
Anyway.
Let the brother.
Anyway, listen. Anyway, I wanted to address something. I heard y'all was saying something about, like, you know, not used to seeing white people getting shot by the police, and y'all was talking about the whole thing with using the car. One of my friends, that's a white dude, he got killed by the police doing that, trying to evade the police. So it's a real thing, like you were saying. I just wanted to kind of like get that out there, like, you know, it's an actual thing that happens, but you don't see that on TV though. They won't show you that.
It happens a lot because, you know what, we think that a lot of dudes come from the era of outrunning sending the cops on a car chase. That's slowly going away. If these cops want to, they can kill you right there now. You just lucky you ain't got some dirty cop nowadays. And a lot of our folks don't know that you speeding away is lethal force, because the police, if he's holding on to your door, right, and you speed away, he can get drugged a little bit, and that can be his defense in court, that I was holding on to the car. And guess what? We know that a lot of this stuff is BS, but these cops is racist, and they're gonna use it, and they're gonna get off anyway.
Exactly. It's just something, it's just a reason, you know, just another reason, you know, to kill somebody.
I don't think we argued that. And nobody actually argued we not used to white people shooting white people. Matter of fact, more white people shoot white people than white people shoot black people. That's it. More Koreans shoot Koreans.
Yeah.
So more crime is committed within your own demographic or ethnic group than outside of it. So no one actually argued that. I would like to sharpen up a little bit and say that the conversation we're having, do your own due diligence to look up the actual laws and rules and regulations. It's essential to this conversation. And I would like to add this tidbit to it. Scientific literacy actually helps you make proper decision making and understand your community involvement and your politics. So if you're sprouting a whole lot of anti-scientific ideas, I can't trust you on your politics. I'm a mute out on that one. Look it up.
I hear you.
Brother Sanchez, if our vote is as powerful as some people claim it is, how much more powerful do you think our vote would be if we decided not to participate in vote?
That's my point.
That's where I stand with it.
And look, that's why I said you really can't nobody on this panel give me no legit pushback for FBAs. Because as a black galvanized political movement of leveraging our votes, Pan-Africanism ain't came with that idea. And this ain't no. I know my Pan-African brothers gonna get mad at me now, but I'm just telling y'all why FBAs is taking off, why it's taking off. Because think about it, man. Ain't nobody never just said, let's come together with this one idea. We ain't voting. We finna leverage our votes and see we ain't Democrats or Republicans. You know what I'm saying?
Can I give you pushback? Okay, so before there was ever a thinking of an FBA, the Nation of Islam for close to 70 years took that position.
They didn't have that idea. They had that idea?
So that's correct.
Yes, right? They did. Thank you, Brother Reggie. Thank you.
So that's absolutely correct. What you have is a hijacking of history, because the FBAs are ignorant.
Bro.
The FBAs are ignorant on Black history. They create renaming Black history, right? So you got a bunch of people born in the 1970s and 80s dictating, never read real books on Black history, and thinking that people are coming up with something new, right?
If you born in 84, don't you know?
You gotta let Reggie finish. You can't cut Reggie off. Wait, Reggie.
My bad, Reggie. You right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the problem is what you agreed on in the beginning, and I'll get off. You agreed that they don't have a plan, and so when we did see them appear, it was about reparations. These topics are over and above reparations, right? So they have now, you have tried to make them Black leadership, but there is already Black leadership. It is not it is not where it should be, but there are people who've actually done the work. I have not seen any well educated FBA person who's touting the FBA person. If there are, come on Ankh's channel, come on my channel, or come on Sinetta's channel. First thing we're gonna ask you is, where's your plan? Because if you're so educated and you're taking a motley, cut up some points, right? And you're making that an FBA movement, you're out of your mind. So if you don't know nothing about law, if you don't know nothing about economics, politics, you're not part of an organization, right? Then you just got ideas. So I'm gonna mute my mic, but please, Brother Sanchez, don't make the FBAs more than their mandate. Their mandate was trying to get the check. That's all.
Yeah, listen, Reggie, here's my thing about the Nation of
Islam.
Islam.
Before you respond, I need to piggyback on some information about the voting, because the brother.
I'm gonna be real quick, Seven. So I'll count down from 10. I'm gonna be quick. The thing about the Nation of Islam, if the Nation of Islam had the idea of leveraging votes before FBAs, I ain't gonna debate you on that. I would say the reason it didn't take off is because it was probably it was overshrouded with the Islam, the religious ideology. That's what the thing with FBA is so big, because they're not Islamists, they ain't Christians. It don't turn no group off.
Come on, man.
See what I'm saying? It's universal to all black
on,
groups. Whereas the NOA a black Christian may not want to align themselves with, you know, the NOI or certain. I'm just saying, you know, that's just a theory.
Yeah, you need to go. You need to go listen to.
Hey, mute. Yeah, Ankh talking. He cussing somebody. He must be in traffic.
Okay. Yeah. But brother, you need to go. You need to go see. Go listen to Malcolm X's speech for the Ballad of the Bullet, and you'll see.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. Yeah.
New.
Yeah, I know it ain't new. I just think it's been. Yeah, I think it's been rebuilt into. Let me ask you something.
Okay. Well, but when you say withhold your vote, wait, hold on. I just want to say this real quick. When that brother said withholding our vote, he thinks is a smart idea. What he's not understanding is he's disenfranchising himself from the system. And a lot of people don't know this, but only half of the United States of America participates in the presidential vote, right? Less than that in local politics. So if we don't even participate at all, right? Everything that goes down in this country, we didn't have not one say so in. And if you think our vote doesn't give us leverage, you're wrong.
No, that ain't
whatever little advances we had, that's what I'm saying. So if you know it gives us leverage, withholding it is going to give us less.
Listen, what I'm telling, what I'm saying, Seven Assault. So you
may I respond really fast, brother?
I'm next.
He's talking to me because that's what I was.
Next.
Yeah, he was talking to me. I'm gonna be quick, right? Seven Assault. Here go the idea, right? FBA ain't saying don't vote. They saying don't vote until the person that's making their promises to you come through on them. And I agree with that, because if my vote really got power, you'll give me what you said you was going to give me for it. Because guess what? My money got power. And if I want to buy a t-shirt from Humble, then he will hand me the t-shirt and I'm going to hand him my money. A good, smooth transaction, right? So it ain't that I won't vote. It's that I ain't finna let you play me now. Give me what you said. And you making a lot of promises, right? And everybody else go the same way. They let them fulfill the promise first, then they get behind a person. And I think we should play like that too.
Now, I agree with you that we shouldn't just vote for policies that don't benefit us, right? But we've actually voted for people who actually went through with the policies that benefited us. What we have to do is create the leverage, like other communities, like the LGBT community created leverage, and they have all of these things. You have other communities that created leverage. We're not good at creating leverage because we're not as unified as those other communities, right? We have to be we have to be the five fingers that create this, and we cannot actually utilize our voting power as it should be with the disunity that we have in our community. And that goes for anything that we try to do. No, we did not. We never were unified in a front for us and used our political power as leverage only to get the Civil Rights Act, the Housing Rights, all these acts that we did. That was our leverage power. That was our marching. That was our blood, sweat, and tears that changed the way that society was run for us. So those are examples in history that showed that we had political power, we used it as leverage, and we got what we want. But now that we're more educated and we're far removed from that, we use that as a learning tool to advance even more our efforts to create the leverage to get us even more what we need to. But the only way we can do that is creating political capital and economic power. That's the only way we can do it. And the only way we can do that is through unity. I'll close it.
So, but don't you agree though that, you know, if we're gonna leverage our vote like you were saying, then it's important to let all parties know we ain't no easy spenders. You're gonna have to work hard to get this vote now. We don't give it away.
Facts. And you do that locally. And when you start, like I said, when we start voting people in that are actually for our agenda, and those people start getting stuff done for us, then that's when the political capital starts mounting up, right? Oh man, they can get this done. Or, oh man, they did this favor for them. It moves up the ladder, brother. That's how politics works, right? So we have to get in control of our communities to create this. Right now, we we have no control. We've never had any control. When we did for the 13 years, right? When we created Black Wall Street, they were discovered. But we're 100 and something years away from that now. We can return back to that, but we got to now learn from that.
When you say we need unity in this area of politics, don't you think that's what FBA and ADOS was attempting to do? Now, you may critique them and say, well, you don't think
we need unity within our community before we can get any unity within any other aspect of society. We have to unite within ourselves first before a unity of politics.
But that's what FBA and
that's what they trying. That's what they trying to do.
They saying, let's unite within Black.
Hold on.
Hold on, let me get in there next.
Let him finish. Let him finish, Asal. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm next though, so come on, man.
Go ahead, Sanchez.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what FBA and ADOS is trying to do. They trying to create unity among a specific group. And ain't nobody that saying you can't be a part of what, you know, think about this, right? You brought up Africa. Africans got tribes. They got the Dogon, the Bushmen, the Ashanti, all them. And they all got their different flags in Africa for their different nations. So it ain't no one just saying that they're Black. They saying that they're a bunch of things and they're getting exclusive with it. So I don't think that FBA is being divisive. I think they actually trying to galvanize a group that didn't have an identity for a long time and just trying to give them one.
Okay.
You think
All
about
right,
that?
so let me jump
I just
in.
think that I'm just gonna say this. I think this organization and leadership, like I said, is why FBA is dividing. And I'll say that. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you, sir. Listen, first of all, FBA is not a political movement. We need to stop the characterization of something that does not exist. They're not 42 million FBA, no such thing. People are just saying it, right? And information is based off of pseudoscientific information. First of all, African Americans are the group. Hold on, let me make my point. African Americans is the group that we're talking about. And it's clear what the definition of an African American is. Those that was enslaved and brought to America and had an ethnogenesis in America with Europeans and some indigenous tribes. That's what an African American is. And you can jump in there and think that FBA means no, it's just a bunch of people talking. So last time I checked, the ethnogenesis of FBA is pseudoscientific, right? It's a pseudoscientific idea. Nobody who was grounded in science and political understanding would ever accept a group making stuff up. Nobody actually does that. You have no power. The pseudo claim is that there were Black people in the Americas prior to Christopher Columbus. That Black explorers and Black colonels, whatever the heck it was, mixed with some enslaved Africans. That's not true. That's a pseudoscientific idea. It's not based in reality. It's based in a bunch of nonsense and a pseudo documentary. So nobody with intelligence, right? Nobody with a scientific background, no nation, no city, no state would sit up there and allow the people to make up something, right? It's not a political movement. It's not that. It's an internet-based movement, right? Based off of pseudoscientific ideas, and the people that follow it do not have enough acumen in quote-unquote data or acumen in scientific literacy to even refute their own claims. But go ahead, Sanchez.
Okay, so are you familiar with an author by the name of LaRon Bennett?
No, explain what he's saying.
All right, LaRon Bennett wrote a book called Here Before the Mayflower.
And Shaping of Black America.
What's the date? What's the date?
So hold on a second. Hold on. So look,
I'll say what's the date of the book.
I'm not sure about when the book was written.
In the 70s. I know Professor LaRon Bennett. He was one of my one of the first books we read in Black Studies under Dr. Leonard Jeffries. So
I'm familiar with the Mayflower, but go ahead.
Right. So watch this. So you familiar with Dr. Runoko Rashidi, right?
All of them. Keep going.
All right. So
all of them.
I know
these are two brothers that I'm referencing. I'm just pulling them up as reference points to that was always teaching about the Black presence in America way before Columbus, way before slavery. And I can screen share right now too. I don't know if the screen share is open, but I got images of
if you want, Sanchez.
No, we're familiar with the author, Sanchez.
Okay, but I just want to show you a picture of Runoko Rashidi next to this statue so you can see, like,
yeah, we know. We all know who he is. We all know who he is.
because I'm just saying,
we don't have a problem with him standing beside that. That's not a
bro, the Olmecs is black people in America before slavery, before listen.
That's not a person.
Hold on, our land.
I know, but that's not a person right there.
Hold on,
I know, but that's not a person.
You gotta let me.
That's not a person.
Let him speak. Let him speak, brother.
I'm letting him talk. I'm saying that's not a person. That's
I hear you now. Let me.
You can do that when he finished. You can do that when he finishes.
So check this out, right? Black men in America, we get fades, right? We get. All I want to do, and it ain't gonna take me nothing but 30 seconds, right? Watch this. Black men in America, no one else in the world, right, get a fade like us. This is an exclusive thing to America. And all I'm saying is we got statues right here of this same hairstyle with statues of a black man. Now, a person may say, look, this ain't a human and all that, boom, boom, boom. But Runoko Rashidi is the one I'm representing. I'm not debating y'all. Y'all are debating teacher Rashidi right now because I'm just giving you his stuff. See, because I'm being lazy and I'm saying, hey, the elder did the work and I'm just going to let the elder talk through me. I'm going to be the vessel. So you can confront the elder on this.
Hold on, man. Nobody jump in. Don't jump in. No, don't jump in, man. Let him finish.
Yeah, I'm a ride off the work and the foundation of the elder who said we was here before. And here's Ivan Van Sertima teaching the same thing right here. So listen, it ain't just me saying that. Y'all are debating a rich foundation of information, brothers who took the trips to the lands and did it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they right or wrong or you right or wrong. I'm just saying I'm gonna lean on this rich history of information.
So Sanchez, I think hold on come on, Asal, man. The point is that no one listening to this broadcast should just allow two scholars or perceived scholars. They're not even actually scholars.
More than that,
right? They did their work. They did their own. They were like private researchers. That's fine, right? They have no doctorate degree in anthropology and none of that. But I'm not mad at the mistakes they made. That's okay. The point is that it's 2026, and we're not sitting here appealing to the authority of some elders that got some things wrong. And we know they got it wrong because we can prove it and verify it through population genetics, through evolutionary theory, through modern anthropology. The picture you show right there, that is a monkey. That is the black monkey. And it's actually a symbolic symbol to the native. You talking when I'm talking because you're not ready for the answer. You can't talk when I'm talking. I'm saying lookership is the worst thing you can do in this conversation because I'm saying your eyes will lie to you. And I'm telling you, as you look at them two pictures you just showed, your eyes are lying to you. That is called the black monkey, and it's an indigenous symbol to those indigenous people. So we're disrespecting indigenous symbols, right? Based off of what we see. We're seeing it wrong. And I'm making my point that at no point do we sit here and listen to Ivan Van Sertima or anybody you name because the verdict is in. The only people who argue this is FBA. Nobody can verify and prove what you said. Now, I'm willing to put on, hey, Sanchez, you know we already got it in before. We could do it again. I'm saying that's called the black monkey. And I'm saying I can prove and verify that through modern anthropology. I'm saying, why not? First of all, hold on. Don't nobody call my name to try to dive in the conversation.
I want to know who gave that monkey this good ass lineup.
Let me finish.
Lineup on
I know I know you're gonna win that part of it, but why don't you show the whole statue? Is that a human line there? So you basically saying that's a Negro head on a monkey body. So that's what we doing now? Is that the game we playing? Is that the misinformation we promote?
Wait a minute. We see the Minotaur. We see the Sphinx in Egypt. Why can't
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Why can't be true
I'm saying that in that particular region where the statue was found,
hold up, y'all. Hold up for a minute. Hey, Ankh, do you have a source that you can show us right now, brother, showing us that this is a monkey?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm in my car. I'm in my car. And I'm saying is on my broadcast, I have showed this before. I got a show. I will have a show tomorrow, and I will show y'all that. This
I'll
is
pull it up for him, Star.
that particular monkey is sacred to the society that y'all now stealing from. Now we have.
All right, hey, Sanchez said he will pull it up for you.
He don't listen. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. The point I'm making here is he who laughs, 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 laughs. Okay? So think I don't have it. And I'm saying we're doing what colonialism did. Colonialism made up stuff. Is that not why we're here to fight that? That's why FBA is a pseudoscientific organization, because they don't know the difference between a monkey and an African American. First of all Africans don't know where it look like that, which is racism in its own right. The Negro does not look like that. They made that up. That was racism in the early anthropology. I'm going to say it again. Africans in Africa do not look like this. I don't know why y'all keep following the racist tropes that are produced.
All right, Reggie, go ahead. You got the floor, Dr. Reg.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Brother Sanchez, how are you again? I want to ask you a question.
I'm good.
Just please answer the question. The foundational Black Americans, who are they?
The foundational Black Americans is in the name. What you asking me?
Okay, so these are the people that built America. These are the people who were enslaved to build America, right? So these are the people that did our.
Let me answer your question. The foundational Black Americans ain't limited to slavery, because the Olmecs was never enslaved, but they was here since the foundation of this. They built the first civilizations on this land. You know, so when we talk about the pilgrims coming to this land and starting civilization, no, what they did was just integrated themselves into civilization.
Okay, so let me finish making my point. Okay, so we're talking about the United States, so we're not talking about no Olmecs. And when we refer to the foundational Black Americans, we're talking about those African
land.
We're talking about those Africans who are the foundation of what we are, because they gave their lives. They fought in the Revolutionary War. They fought in the Civil War. They fought in all wars. They gave us great inventions. They went by the names of.
You ain't hearing me though, Reggie.
No, because what I'm just trying to say is you're trying to make everybody in America, right? Everybody in the Americas the Black man of America. And
I'm
that's
not trying to make everybody an Olmec, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, the Olmecs are not in the United States.
So, but listen, I get what you're saying. It's because the Olmecs, when they was in this land, it wasn't called America. It wasn't.
But they weren't in the United States under. So we go back to reparations. Reparations is for those people that were tied to the enslavement. So
I get what you're saying.
Okay,
but guess what though? The people who would, this is what I'm saying. That when the pilgrims came over here, the founding fathers, quote unquote, who came and founded the land, when you talk about the word foundation, foundational Black American, the word found is in the word foundation for a reason. Is deeper than the person who, it's deeper than the people who built the foundation. Is who was the first ones to find this land in the first place. And it wasn't Columbus. There was people here before Columbus, so you didn't find nothing. That's like you saying,
I understand. I understand, but let me finish. And then I'm always short. At any rate, and the brother's right, these are the Garifuna people. And also they became the Garifuna people, and they may have come over from the Oceania, right? With dark skin, but a different culture, an Asiatic, oceanic African. But let me get to my point. Brother Sanchez, those people that was foundational, they're all dead. They're dead. Everybody connected to these periods that you're talking about are dead. It is crazy for a group of people to call themselves based on a group of people that actually did the work, foundational, when we're living in different times. It don't make no sense. Foundational, the original ancestors, who you might say be foundational to the United States, right?
I got a question
the last
for
of
you,
them,
Reggie.
the last of them are dead. So you're misusing words. You're misusing compound words, and you do, not you, but the people that thought about this, you do this in junior high school. In high school, you start to read dictionaries. You understand words better. Certainly in college, the people that created foundational Black Americans either did it for in their ignorance, or did it for a particular purpose to psych you out. Now I'm gonna listen to you, good brother. What do you want to say?
So when you say that the Olmecs are dead, my ancestors will always live through me. So one thing about our ancestors, they will never die. They live through us, and that goes for my African ancestors too. Because I would think that at some point, every human is related at some point, because we all one big species. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Someone is at the front door.
Okay, so I made my point.
Hold on. Let me.
I'm getting off.
You gotta let me land, Reggie. You gotta let me land, because somebody just got a DoorDash or something, but it interrupted me. But the thing is this, right? It'll be like the person who's a comedic guy saying, well, all the Egyptians dead, so your point is null and void. No, the Egyptian person gonna tell you they still living through me. We are the Egyptians.
No, I don't agree with that dumb shit.
So, but hold on. What I'm saying is this though. My grandmother is dead, but I'm still a representative of her.
But you're not her.
But I'm not saying I'm her. This is what I'm telling you right here. You gotta let me speak too, because I just let you speak. What I'm saying is this. I am my grandmother's DNA. I am my grandmother's lineage, because that's what FBA is. It's a lineage-based group. So what I'm saying is, no one forget their lineage, just like the Jews don't let you forget the Holocaust, right? So that's all it's saying, is that I would never say my ancestors is dead. I would say, yeah, physically they are, but spiritually and genetically, they live through all of us, in my opinion, my humble opinion, and I'll just fall back.
Okay, my last words on that. Okay, so Sanchez, you got a great mind. You could put some things together, right? That's why you're a brother Sanchez, right? And that's why, you know, we like when you come on this platform to examine the things that you say. You didn't create the FBA,
right?
So you're a convert to the FBA. You're a convert to the ideology.
You can't convert to your lineage.
Let me speak now. Let me speak. So because you take on part of the things that you like, right? It's the problem. The problem is the things that we will say to you that you won't like. The FBAs, those people in the past, they are gone. They're gone. It's a time period. You and us, we are descendants of...
Somebody got some rumble going over you. Hold on. But well, you got it.
Right. We are descendants of those great Black folks that I'll stop and I'm gonna listen.
I just want to say this to Sanchez real quick.
Yo, who's speaking? Who's speaking?
Kim.
You got a cam up, brother, so I can see you. Let me see. I don't be knowing. Okay, go ahead, Cam.
I just want to say, I don't know if when people be citing Ivan Van Sertima work to say that Black Americans always been in America, if they actually read the work, because in that work, it doesn't say that Black Americans always been in America. In that work, it talk about Africans making first contact with the Native Americans that was in America, the indigenous people. Not that we was the first people to the land. And the people that they talking about are African every time. So why do y'all keep trying to say we were always here, but then try to not say you African at the same time, and then use Ivan Van Sertima work to say that when that's not even what he's saying? That is crazy.
Okay, can I answer it? Is it on me now? All right, so appreciate that, brother. I know exactly what Ivan Van Sertima is saying. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't see nothing wrong with a person saying I'm indigenous to America, because that only means you the first person here. So if the Olmecs were the first Americans, they ain't wrong by saying they're Americans, even if your theory is they come from Africa. See, the out of Africa theory is just that, it's theory. So if someone don't subscribe to science's interpretation or their explanation or their theory for how all life began and how it expanded from a central point or single location, right? If someone don't subscribe to that, then by all means they can make up their theory about it, and they can say, well, I think humans were already everywhere in the beginning. You know, they can have all of their, at the end of the day, they're just theories, and I don't even think that's the important part. I think the important part is who are the first ones that set foot on American soil, because those are the true founding fathers. And so my whole thing would be the people who claiming that they found something are ignoring the people who was here before them. So even if you want to believe that those people came here from African, it don't change the fact that the people who saying they founded this land are lying, and that was a great black civilization here. And that's what I'm doing when I pull up Ivan Van Sertima or Runoko Rashidi. I don't have to agree with them guys on everything to agree that, guess what, the people who saying that they was here first, they lying, because here go research of people who was here before them. Now we can debate on where did the Olmecs come from? Where did the black guys who was here first come from? And that'll be a whole nother portion of the debate. But what I'm trying to establish right now is that Negro presence, black presence was here, and it was established before the Mayflower, and that what was being denied by Reggie at first. He denied that. And I got to pull this up to show where you're wrong before we move forward. That's it.
No, what I'm saying is, even with using those words, you still misrepresenting what the work is saying, because those works aren't saying that the black people, the Africans that came to this land, was the first people on the land. The work talking about them making contact with the people who was on this land first, and that those people who
African presence.
And those Africans that made contact with the indigenous people, they saying in the book that those people came before Columbus. Not that we was always here, we was the first people here. So I'm saying you still not even using the work right in the way that the people who wrote it.
Okay, so watch this though then.
That's a great point.
Here go to let me and the brother Bill, bro.
I know, but don't run that stop sign. Stay there with him.
I'm gonna stay there with him. Fall back. Here go what I don't get about Pan-Africans, right? Somebody mic loud in the background, but check this out. I'm gonna use the Pan-African theory, what y'all teach, to show you where y'all ain't sticking.
Whoa, nobody's a Pan-African though. Yo, why you do that?
Hold on, bro.
Yo, please, brother, you gotta stop cutting in. Let the brother finish, and you can add on when he finished. But I got the sister next.
Yeah, I forgot. I lost my mind in the middle of the lie. My fault.
Okay, bro. Thank you, bro. Right. So people who subscribe to the out of Africa theory, they say that Africans had already populated every continent before any race showed up. That's basically what they say, that the black man went around the world and created all civilizations, and that the white man is the Johnny come lately. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna use the out of Africa theory to show you where they being hypocritical, right? Because no matter what they say, the first people on this land would have been black, copper colored, some form of melanated person, right? And that's what they trying to hide and deny right now. So you can say it was a Mongoloid, a white person. You could go into all these other groups, but it goes against the out of Africa theory itself, in my opinion, which says that Africans went around the world out of Africa and populated and established all these lands before any of these other groups showed up, because they ain't nothing but mutations that happen over time from Africans staying in these.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's just the whole package. Most people don't even understand the out of Africa theory at all, man. So yeah, that brother did make a great point. He said that the Africans, they came before Columbus, the African presence in America. He wasn't saying that the Africans was first. He said it was a presence here, right? His work has now been, quote unquote, thoroughly scrutinized, and that's not the reality we live in today. but that's okay. We got to stop making the elders pseudo by promoting their outdated work on said subject. That's my point. Let us move forward.
Place is too long. If you want to just slim it, simplify it.
All right, let me go on over to the sister. Queen, what's up? Unmute yourself.
There you go. There I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
First, I want to say peace to everybody on the panel. I heard a lot, so I'm going to just speak to what I just heard. When it comes to the out of Africa theory that people love to use, they forget that once you get out of Africa, you kind of have admixtures with other like things out there. You have Denisovans, you have Neanderthals, that's all being mixed in with these Black people. That changed those haplogroups. It's not the same A00 or, you know, the E that leaves Africa that is making it to America. By the time they make it to America, you have a whole lot of Asian DNA in you. You have a whole lot of Denisovan DNA on you.
Yep, that's a clear mistake right there. Now, first of all, let's get this straight. I think the sister is actually sharp, but she need to be around. She need to be around other brothers and other sisters that are espousing to be sharp and said subjects and understanding science and science literacy. So the mistake she made was this, and I'm not hating. I'm simply saying what it is. And so in science, if you say that the outer Africa theory claims that when humans left, they ran into other archaic humans. She didn't even say it that way, but she was right. She said other things, but she meant archaic humans. And that's why our haplogroup changed. That's not true. It's the radiation in the area that you migrated to. Okay? That does what? It causes a mutation. So the DNA gets damaged, right? And that's all the mutation is a mistake, right? Damaged DNA mutates, okay, and will give rise to different haplogroups outside of Africa. And that's why we call the Africans that left Africa, because their mutation occurred outside of Africa. We call them non-Africans. But non-Africans don't mean that you don't come from Africa. So in the scientific literature, when you say non-African, you're identifying where that mutation occurred. And that mutation did not occur because we mixed with archaic humans. Hybridization. It's not a lot of that, where you find a lot of half Neanderthal, half human. Our temperament was not the same. We couldn't stay around each other like that. We couldn't develop family structures. It was like a hit it and quit it. They hit and they ran. That was it. They didn't form family structures that you would find a whole lot of skeletal remains that clearly show hybridization, meaning half Neanderthal, half human, or half Denisovan and half human. All right. So we got to be crystal clear when we talking against a high level pseudo. All right. So yeah, I think the sister to be sharp. I think she needs to be amongst some people that will critique every statement you make on said subject. Help her game grow. So I appreciate the sister. So I'm not hating. I'm just, goddamn it, I'm participating.
In you. So just to put a blanket statement on, oh, these are just Black people, or they just have Black features, because I don't know if you ever looked at a Mexican who is indigenous of the Mexicans, like they have those same broad nose, high cheekbones features that we have. So you can't just go by the features on the statue and pretend as if that statue means that that's a Black person of the same line as you. And that's where I kind of like that's why I distance myself from the FBA movement, because within it kind of does roll off of just looking at things and not necessarily having the information on the things that you're talking about. As far as the, I'm gonna just stop right there, but because it was a lot said, so I just wanted to put that little tidbit in there.
Can I respond to that, Sonetta?
Drop a bomb, please. Drop a bomb.
Yes, you
No, sister, we need you on this channel. We
Drop
need
a
you.
bomb. Please drop a bomb.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
we're
you.
not
All right, everybody be quiet. Sanchez, you can respond.
Well, why you let him respond when I need to
And I
respond
want
next,
to
yo?
ask, and I want to ask you a quick question to the sister before I go on my little response. And salutes to the sister. Sister, are you familiar with the concept of what we call the quote unquote Black African American being what's called the Negro of America, who we call the Negro in America? Are you
I've
familiar
heard of it,
with
yes.
the word Negro? Okay, so my thing about that is this. Sarnetta, show my screen real quick with my statue again. The people who gave y'all the out of Africa theory, they're telling you that these Black people here was El Negro. So when we talk about us being descendants of this Black man, who can tell me I'm wrong? Who could, because think about it. Even if you say this Black man right here come from Africa, I ain't even debating you on that. I'm just saying that's my great granddaddy. And I'm telling the white people who said that they founded this country, you'll lie, because here go my great granddaddy. Now, Pan-Africanism versus FBA is an infight. But what I'm pointing out to you right now is something both of us should get behind, because even if you're a Pan-African, guess what you're saying? You're saying that this dude come from Africa. That's a different debate where he come from. The point that we're making is he was here before the Mayflower. He was here before the folks that call themselves the founders.
Can I just respond really quickly?
Oh, can I dive in? Come on.
Yeah, really fast. Can I just respond?
Let them have their dialogue. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sis.
I just wanted to say, like, and I believe it was you that made the conversation. I don't know for sure that, there's different tribes in Africa. So we wouldn't say the San and the Dogon are the same type of tribe. We wouldn't even say they have the same haplogroup all the way, right? So we know that they have different cultures. We know that they are different tribes. So why is it when it comes to America, we just want to lump all of these cultures into one group and say that those are your grandparents? That's not how that works. Hold on. Because in order for you to tell me that that's your grandparent, you're going to tell me that you also did a DNA test? Or are you just claiming it because of the features?
I'll let you know.
And that would be a little illogical, right? That would be illogical to say that because me and this person looks alike, that means that we are cousins, knowing that there's tribes out there that separate people. Especially when you're talking about coming from West Africa, because that's where, the transatlantic slave trade comes from. And the people that migrated from Africa through Asia, met Denisovans, stopped in Mongolia, went across the Bering Strait. That's a lot of generations before you get to South America, whether you're talking about going through the Bering Strait or going through the islands in the southern, right, in the Pacific. Either way, you have different cultures that's happening. So you can't just claim all of that as yours without the DNA test to prove that you are one of those people.
I'll respond to, let me respond to her without them cutting in with the little pom-poms too. I want to have a civilized conversation back and forth. So the thing is this, she going off one account of history, right? She's glued to one account of history. And when she tells me that have I done a DNA test to prove that I'm that man on the screen, that ain't even the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that the white folks who said that they were the first ones who founded this, they call themselves the founders, right? They're not. They're not the founders. If both of us can agree that the people who said that they discovered this land were lying because there were a Negro group here, then I can ask you, who was that Negro group here that was before the Mayflower? If you say that group come from Africa, fine. The whole point is this: if you say all of us are descendants of Africans because of the out of Africa theory, then I can claim this as my forefather, just like I can claim an Egyptian pharaoh. We do that every day. Niggas say, we the Egyptians, we the pharaohs. Ain't nobody testing their DNA. All of us, if we going by the slave trade, we didn't even come from East Africa. We come from West Africa, but we still claim Egypt. So my thing is this right here. No one is doing a DNA test when they put their Egyptian garb on, because if they did, they would have to put on they would know that they come from somewhere in West Africa, according to the out of Africa theory. My point is this right here, though. When they wear the Egyptian garb, they're basically saying that the Egyptian people that are on that land ain't the real Egyptians they false claiming. So when we say, listen, these pilgrims that's claiming this land like they the real Americans, or they founded this joint, they are imposters. Now, as Black people, we can go argue among ourselves about where did the first Negro people come from who was here. But first thing first, let's let the folks know in power, y'all ain't find nothing. And that's all I'm saying. I think the division needs to stop, because all we doing in FBA is saying some of us come from Africa, some of us always been here, some of us believe in out of Africa theory, some of us don't. But the point is, behind the whole movement is we were here first. We as in the Negro group.
I get that, and I understand that, but I think you misrepresented who I was as a person, right? And what my ideologies are. I'm following the topic, and this is what you presented, right? So even in this idea that, the white people, the European, the Spanish wasn't here first, there was people here, I'm cool with you on that. Where it delineates for me is when we try to superimpose ourselves into other people's histories. When it comes to the Negroid being the first people, okay, that's fine. We can talk about that all the live long day. But are you that? No. And especially you saying like you being an indigenous person only, that doesn't make sense to me. You have at least over 400 grandparents between now and the 1700s. So you're trying to say that every one of them name was eagle flies? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you got some Tyrones and Jeromes and Jacksons all up in your lineage. There's no Tiger Lilies in your lineage. So this is where I'm confused with the FBA movement, right? Because a lot of it is talking about how you're not of African descent, or trying to separate yourself from Africa.
So you misrepresent
Sir, I let you misrepresent me on silent.
I just presented my stuff. I didn't.
I get that. I get that. I'm just saying when you presented, I was quiet. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna just land my plane with this, because we've been talking for a while. Is Facts. If you're not talking about the mixture of Black Americans in this country, you are lying to Black Americans. You have indigenous American blood in you. You have West African blood in you. You can even have East African blood in you. You won't really know until you do your DNA test. But this idea that you have always only been here and all of your ancestors' name is riding with wolves, that's not true. And you're basing your ideology on lies. And that's where the more learned people are catching up on. And that's where I land. Thank you.
Now, sorry, you got to let me land, and then we can move forward. Here's what she's misrepresenting, because I never misrepresented her. I didn't even deal with her.
Cam up.
I'm about to cam up right now for you, but I want to screen share, though. Put the screen share on right here. So here's the thing. I'm not basing it on nothing but what the scholars taught, that the Negro had the first presence in America. I don't care what y'all say. When you deal with the out of Africa theory, it states that the first people arrived in America was melanated. Let's use the word melanated or Negroid. You got to put a foreigner here first and be divisive, which is why I'm rocking with FBA, because all FBA doing is saying, look, the people who saying that they are the founders of this land, they ain't do no DNA test. They just claiming it. You got a whole group in power called Israelites who get their identity from the Bible, and they ain't doing no DNA test. So my whole thing is we got rich research that shows that Negroes was here first. I'm not trying to debate with my brothers and sisters about where these Negroes come from, who I am, and who you is, right? I'm trying to debate to the world that the people in power here is lying about who they are as the founders of this land. So I think that we spending a lot of time going through circles arguing with each other about who we are versus putting these imposters on the stand who's saying that they founded this country, saying that they ain't who they saying they are. So I'd rather argue with the world about the white people in power here not being the real fathers or founders versus argue with y'all about what the first Negroes come from and what about my lineage. Because the people who run this country, they got questionable lineage. They're foreigners. They ain't here. That's the point of mine, right? The point of my whole thing with FBA is some of us, hey, it's a lot going on in the background, Sarnetta, with wind and coughing and all that. When the sister was talking, everybody was muted. So I want to land my plane, but it's a lot of little side hate going on because I'm dropping bombs.
Everybody go on mute until I call on y'all. Go on mute. Put your hand down and pop my seat.
Check this out, right? This is why I say all these other groups is being divisive, because we got a group of people in here, no one won't question their identity. They're called Zionists. We was talking about them earlier, Sarnetta. These people got a fake identity that nobody questioned, and y'all questioning our real identity as the first Negroes in America, just because we want to debate on are we Africans or not. Me as an FBA dude, I'm saying some dudes are from some of us are from Africa, some of us ain't. And you still FBA, everybody, and you may say, well, all of us from Africa because of the out of Africa theory. But I ain't here to debate theories. I'm here to tell the truth that we know for a fact that in the founding fathers of this land, when we know that our forefathers founded this land, and we can debate later about we got an identity crisis as Black people. So we're gonna debate about who we are, and we might not never be right about it. But one thing we can come together on right now is that the people who have
we got an identity crisis, and your answer to the identity crisis is to steal somebody else's identity? Hell, that's the damn crisis. Man, let us continue, man. Boy, I tell you, man, the double talk, double cross, triple, blam, 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 boom, is in full goddamn effect.
Been claiming that they discovered something, didn't do it. That's all I was saying. I think that was going over y'all head.
All right. To move along real quick. Hey, Ankh, I got you, and then I got Apostle. Let's go, Ankh.
Okay, so first of all, I want to deal with the sister who sounded the most intelligent out of everybody so far, and I just want to make a correction on it. The out of Africa theory does not posit that when Homo sapiens sapiens left out of Africa, that they mixed with other humans and their haplogroup changed. That's not what it was. They absolutely mixed with other humans, Homo denisovans and Homo Neanderthal. Homo denisovans actually mixed with people that ended up in the Adamese island, coming from Asia, Western Asia. And the first Homo sapiens sapiens that left Africa mixed with Homo neanderthalis. And so these are still Africans, but they're called non-Africans. This is in the literature. Okay, so although I'm saying they're non-Africans, they're still Africans. Fundamentally speaking, all human beings are Africans, but they're non-African and African. And so by the time they reached to America, they went through mutation processes based off of radiation, breaking down their causing mutations would cause them to mutate, and we call that selection. These particular humans get fit to their environment. By the time they get to Americas, they have a whole nother haplogroup, not because they mix with other archaic humans outside of Africa, because it's called natural selection. Now, Sanchez made a egregious mistake. First of all, this is not a Pan-African quote-unquote theory. It's a scientific theory. It has nothing to do with Pan-Africanness. Has all to do with science and science literacy and Charles Darwin. So Charles Darwin came up with the first person to posit that humans started out in Africa. So it's not a Pan-African thing. It's not a FBA thing. It's a scientific literacy thing. So I want to be very, very clear. Second of all, humans is on this panel do not descend from that particular monkey that you keep showing. That is not your great-great-grandmother. Your great-great-grandmother was not a monkey. That is absolutely a picture of, they call it the black monkey, which is a religious symbol in these North American, quote-unquote, civilizations. The lookership has failed you. No one looks at a statue and say, well, this statue is black and this statue is a Negro. That's not how they do it. There are more things you have to match up to history, historical documentation. You have to match up genetics, but you continue to show and claim that our great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother was a monkey. I think that to be ridiculous. We can all look it up. I'll be doing the show tomorrow around 12 o'clock on this particular topic, showing you the black monkey and how it's essential to these Native Americans. I rest my case.
I want to address this comment right here. That is actually true. That first migration was Homo erectus. Homo erectus made it all the way to Asia, didn't make it to America. And I also would like to address a comment you made earlier about the 20 quote unquote finds of hybridized Homo neanderthalis and Homo sapiens sapien. The debate is that they're not quite sure if that's factual or not. But like I said, the record on that is very scarce. That was my point. So yes, you do find hybridized Homo erectus and Homo neanderthal, but not a lot. Not as many as we would expect to find if they had family together and stayed with each other in close proximity. I believe the way they developed culturally and socially was diabolically opposed to each other, where the downfall of the Homo neanderthalis was they had small groups, and so small groups would cause inbreeding and would not keep the diversity needed to protect themselves against the germ warfare that nature exacts on living organisms. Okay, and so without speaking in absolutes, the point I'm making is Homo sapiens sapiens, their strong point was having the ability to have a small group and connect with another small group, marry outside of the group. That's what allowed us to expand around the planet. So yes, but I appreciate Kaboom. I appreciate your input. It's very intelligent, and let us continue this wild conversation.
All right. Sanchez, you want to respond before I go to Apostle?
Yeah, I definitely want to respond to Unkh's nonsense because he don't even know his own science. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't even debate him on the out of Africa theory or Darwin, because you got to know what you're teaching for you can debate it. First of all, Darwin didn't create the out of Africa theory. He did not. That's a lie. The out of Africa theory was not created by one single person. It developed in stages, but the modern version was formally established in the late 20th century. Y'all can look all this up. The theory became mainstream by Alan Wilson, Rebecca Cann, and Mark Stone King. Have you ever heard of any of those names, Uncle?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. Charles Darwin was the first person to say that. He's the first person to claim that anthropoid apes are more aligned with.
Hold on, brother.
humans.
Hold on, brother.
That's
Brother,
Darwin.
that ain't what I asked you, bro. Have you ever
Yeah,
heard
you said the modern. You said the modern synthesis of it,
bro,
Sanchez.
Listen.
There's a difference, bro.
All right, let me just get the mic back. I ain't got no questions for you. First of all,
Thank you,
right,
sir.
y'all. This what he's been dishonest about. Darwin did not create the out of Africa theory. The out of Africa theory is a theory that evolved over time based upon Darwin's work. And that's just a fact. And I don't know why he had to lie like that. Why lie about that? And again, the out of Africa theory is what I had on trial, not the Pan-African theory. That's silly. Pan-Africanism it ain't got none. You can be see the thing about Pan-Africanism, I'm not necessarily debating a Pan-African theory because the Pan-Africans didn't make the out of Africa theory. Pan-Africanism is like a cultural movement that is based upon a scientific theory of the out of Africa theory. So no, it's not the Pan-African theory, which Ankh said, which is another wrong thing that he did. It's the out of Africa theory, and that's what we're talking about, Ankh. So again, you showing up today talking about Darwin didn't create the out of Africa, that he did create the out of Africa theory, but he didn't. He just didn't. You got to prove that. But the point is,
just read that, bro.
I'm about the land.
Okay.
The point is, what I'm verifying is something that I've been knew. When you said it, I thought I was wrong. I'm honest enough to go back check and see if I'm right. And it's validating what I originally thought, that Darwin did not create it. But I'll land here, right? I'll land here.
So Sanchez,
I'm about to land here. I'm about to land here. This is the last sentence. This is very divisive. What FBA represent is, if you from Africa, no matter where you from, if the Negro is being undermined in every continent, if melanin is under attack in every continent, then what we're saying, if melanin was first in every continent. Now, this is something I hear, that everywhere you look, brown skin is being oppressed. And if that's true, and if brown skin was first on every continent, then the people that's in power in these places are lying about being the quote unquote fathers, and we need to put some respect on the first copper-colored, brown-skinned people of these lands. And America, we need to start with first. I fall back.
Yeah, clear mistake. You use the word melanin. All human beings have melanin. It's just different levels of it. So that's the mistake. So that's a mistake to say melanated.
The
people.
other brother,
all human, first. You cut me. I got one mic. I said all humans are melanated, just some have heavy levels of melanin based off of the melanocytes. The next point is you said out of your mouth that it's Charles Darwin work that gave rise to the scientific theory. You're right. So Charles Darwin is the first person. You said it. You made a mistake and said it.
Not
but you
the
said
scientific theory, but the out of. I said out. He didn't have nothing to do with the out of Africa theory, is what I said.
Okay, but the out of Africa theory is a scientific theory. And it was based off of Charles Darwin work, because he's the first person to make a scientific prediction that said that humans are more likely found on Africa than anywhere else based off of the anthropoid apes, right? He made a scientific prediction, which is the greatest thing you can do in science, just to make that point relevant. And so you're messing it all up. You're confusing the audience. And this is the reason why FBA is pseudoscientific, because they don't understand the scientific theory. You disrespect scientific theories because you're scientifically illiterate on said subject. So you should probably just get off of that and stick with the FBA, but get out of the scientific history and the historical accuracy, because you're just wrong. I rest my case. I will be doing a show on the Black Monkey tomorrow.
Man,
I will verify my point, and I will tell you.
Go at it a little, sir. Let me
not for free, but not for free.
Come on,
not for free, Sanchez. You know we're gonna
you know, man, you're gonna arrange some big shit for him, but let's give him a little free show real quick.
We already giving it to him. We already giving it to him.
I know you don't want the smoke. Go ahead.
I want the smoke off top. I want the smoke on top.
We'll set it up. We're gonna set it up. We're gonna set it up.
Right. I'll call y'all. Let me get on Apostle. Apostle, what's up, brother?
Thanks, Sai, for allowing me to come on. Shalom to the guests. Shalom to the people out there. And with your permission, Si, if the sister got a presentation, I like to present her on Coliseum, if I may. So I'm gonna offer to allow the sister to come on and do her presentation on her information. I would love for you to come and sit with me for a couple of hours and do that.
But Apostle, real quick, Apostle, this is a scientific sister right here that you're talking to. And I don't want to bring her over there to argue with you about no Bible.
I'm not arguing about no Bible. Don't do that.
You're going to rip it and tear it apart.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
I have to let you know what you're dealing with, what you're getting ready to get into, brother.
Brother, I know what I'm getting into.
I don't want her screaming at the top of her lungs trying to get through to you, brother. I think this the wrong sister you calling, man. Come on, brother.
I'm not calling the sister
I'm trying to save you from this.
Brother, I'm not calling the sister to debate her. I'm calling on the sister to bring people.
Love, bro.
If I might do that,
Okay.
you're meddling. Please, I know what I'm doing.
Okay. It's up to the system.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, brother. So I'm out, man. I
You
see
want to
tomorrow,
have
man.
a conversation? So you want to have a conversation about this
This
topic and
All right, man. I'm gonna drop the link, man. It's about an hour and a half left of that show, man. Y'all can go over to Sonnet TV, man, and go ahead and catch the rest of that, man. And boy, where the hell would they be at, right? If not for the community of skeptics and the pseudo killers. Where would they be at if not for regular people like us, man, having enough heart and having enough challenge to actually jump into science and science literacy? I look back over the long trail, the long journey, man, that I took, and starting out, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I had to, raised to go to school, get good grades, but that's not enough, man. Being able to comprehend, being able to get out of the way of your biases is hard. Trying to defeat your five senses is another level, man. And then having everybody around you, everybody in your ear talking that talking crazy. Man, the influence of misinformation. Hell, my uncle, man, he one of the first persons that had a major library in his damn house. He had the pseudo books and good books and just books. It's hard to tell the damn difference, man. And to get to the point where you can tell the difference, man, that's a hell of a one great step for African American kind, goddammit. Because I swear to goodness, it's been a hell of a damn going walk, man. And I just like to say thanks to everybody that took that leap of faith and was not afraid that God was going to kill you at the end of the day. Big up to those who are not afraid of dying and not going to heaven some damn way. They don't know where it is, but you're going somewhere. Big up to those who have enjoyed their living relatives to the point where you may miss them, but you're not worrying about whether you goddamn join them or not. Because the situation you have on earth, you show them that you love them and care about them to the point where if you never see them again, it is what it is. So I'm dropping a link. Anybody want to get on, right? And yeah, jump on real quick. Let's talk that talk. Big up to Rich Rotto. What up, man? From the UK, man. Tim Boysley, what's up, man? yeah. Sanchez B. Hopefully we can get it in. Yeah, he talking about he got that monkey, man. That statue he keeps showing, yo. That's actually it for certain. It's a monkey face, and it may be a human body, but you can find it all through Mesoamerica. You can find monkey faces on human bodies. That's part of what they did, and to misrepresent that is egregious. Vince, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Shout out to the community of skeptics. Shout out to the pseudo killers.
Yeah, big up, man. Real Black Atheism
I don't
doing
know how
their
you
thing.
do it, huh? I don't know how you have the patience to talk to these people, bro. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it, bro.
Somebody got to do it, right?
I guess so, man. You highly favored for doing that, man, because I couldn't have no patience talking to these people, bro.
Let me tell you this, man. When I heard Malachi York information being kicked in hip hop early in the game, when I heard Karis One doing his thing, right, kicking the Black Hebrews and all that, I knew at that point that the conversations we was having in the conscious community always reach mainstream African Americans. And to prove my point, look at it now. Mainstream is making claims. You got mainstream people talking about, well, Jesus is black, the Hebrews are black. This is mainstream Kyrie Irving and them talking about the earth is flat. All that crazy wackery that we talk about has made it to mainstream. Tazariak, he's in mainstream. He regular normal African American is hearing that foolery. So, you know what I'm saying? I always knew it was happening. I always knew it was there. I just wanted to be at the root of the daggone problem. I wanted to be at the root of the cancer, right? So that people could grow with me, right? And be able to tackle this, bro. So that's why I got patience, because it's actually bigger than me, man. And I got teams of people such as yourself, man, that's kicking that shit right, yo. It ain't just me, bro. It's a whole dedicated team of y'all, man. And I really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all just as important as me. I just jumped out there first, like a nut.
What's up, Cedric?
Too dumb to be scared. Cedric.
Do what it do. You know, God killer. I gotta agree with Venice. You know, I'll follow you into the trenches, bro. You know, I would follow you into the mud. But yesterday, you noticed I couldn't jump up there because I already crashed out home already. I was already crashed out. So I gotta admire your patience and your dedication, because I can't do it. I was already crashed out just watching the program, crashing out.
Yeah, Cedric
So I
crashing out
refused to
fast.
jump up there. So you know I always got your back, but you noticed yesterday I did not jump up there because I already crashed.
Yeah, Cedric be crashing out fast as hell.
Crash out too damn fast. Let me get the Zolly on there. Hey, what's up, brother? Good to have you stopping through. You know, I always appreciate you, yo. You be in the midst of the foolery all the time.
I'm always in it. What's up, brother? What's up to my brother Seb, brother Vince, all y'all, you know, pseudo killers, community of skeptics, all that people, you know, go ahead, like, subscribe, share the channels, you know. But the information that you bring, is very much needed, and understand, and I think that you understand that you have a tremendous battle ahead of you, because I be in these other spaces, and there's just a cesspool of pseudology out here. There's a oasis of pseudoness running around, man, and people gravitate to that because it tugs on their heartstrings, on their, I guess, emotions. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Sanchez go, I can't do it, because the guy, first of all, if it's not in a damn neutral environment, he gonna try to big time you. If it is in a neutral environment and you get him on something, he's gonna say that he's gonna run back to his nice big platform and leave y'all here if y'all don't give it to me my way, and God bless you for taking out the time to try and damn work with him. Because, man, look.
Yesterday was a demonstration of two things: straw manning and moving the goalposts. He did not engage with not one point with sincerity. When he got cornered, he just picked up the goalpost, moved it over there, created a straw man narrative, and insists on having his diatribe before you can deal with it, right? So the level of disingenuousness is beyond anything I can handle. Honestly, I can't handle it. I was proud of Ankh, but I was crashing out. The young lady showed a lot of tact as well, and a lot of discipline, and a couple of mistakes here and there. You agree, Ankh, in a different environment, she just cleaned those things up. But she was hitting this man so hard, he did not address one point. Goalpost moving, strong man. I can't do it. That level of disingenuousness is beyond what I can handle.
No, what about the statue that he talking about had a fade? Like they was giving fades in the 1300s.
You know, said
on a monkey statue.
Said you said that he moving goalposts and he didn't want to address any facts. That's because he was up there with an actual agenda. He wants to create another conspiracy theory similar to his flat earth thing. That's his main goal. He wants to create a conspiracy theory that there's some secret to hide the fact that there were black people here and we were always said this is avalanche. That's what he wants to do. He's all about the conspiracy theory, and that's why people are going to gravitate to him.
Yeah, he wants to hit that Abo nonsense from a different angle. He went all the way with Bombada and the feathers.
And I want y'all to know, yo, Sanchez is elegant in the way he will admit he's wrong and switch it up like he was agreeing with you. Did you see that top level move he do? That's his. You switch to forward nothing. I agree with you with it. See?
Yeah,
he
that's
does.
cool.
Listen to it again. That's a top notch move he got.
Yeah,
top
yeah, he a high level pseudo.
Yeah. He say, "Oh yeah, you're right." He said, "You're right. I agree with that." And son. He's saying you're right. I agree with that. Is the opposite of what he's really saying.
Yep.
See how you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Ben Eaton? What's good, brother?
Hey, peace to everybody on the panel. What's up?
We can barely hear you. Turn your phone up. Turn that mic up.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little bit.
I'm gonna come back down.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, he's and the way he speak, yo, the way he speaks with such confidence, and so now I'm starting to say those who pronounce every word right. Every word right, I'm skeptical now. Now I got to be skeptical. If you pronounce every goddamn word right, and you articulate everything properly too much, I'm skeptical. I'm thinking
like
you scamming.
Yeah,
because I done talked to enough experts. That ain't how they do it.
Yeah, stinky inky.
When you're making stuff up and moving the goalposts and straw manning every conversation, everything that someone said, he literally straw man and moved the goalposts. So what you're saying is, so first he straw mans you. He makes up what you said, what you didn't say, then says he agrees with the thing that he made up, and then counters that again. So he like that dance that he does is eloquent, I must agree. But once you're on to the game, it is annoying as hell.
Hey, did you hear him admit that Charles Darwin was the founder of out of Africa? He gonna say it was built off his work, but he didn't create it.
That's crazy as shit.
And then you push back on him, and he try to pseudo shuffle out of there.
I didn't say it. It's more than one. Of course, it's more than one person that adds to the outer Africa thing. Of course, it's a body of work. But it was Charles Darwin that posited, right? He made a scientific prediction, which actually starts them to go to Africa and start to do that. What's up, Sabio? And then I'm gonna go to Timbo.
What up, Ankh? What up, Sid? Hey, like that. What up, Dazali? What up, Venice? Like they was telling you, Ankh, I appreciate you having the character and the patience to deal with that idiot that hour and however much longer you was dealing with that nonsense. And the disrespect of people and their histories and their cultures and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of what I'm glad you did was you kept them away from the blending or the erasure of our actual history and culture to try to say that we have always been here. I appreciate that, because that right there, we don't have an identity. We're searching for an identity. That is where these pseudo judo experts live.
Hey, where you at? You said they live in a world that does not exist. Timbo, what's on your mind, bro? Talk to us. You gotta mute out. Timbo.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's good, bro? Talk to us.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, you did. Hey, you got Sanchez. Well, he tried to flip it, man. He tried to flip it with that Darwin thing because he didn't want to be wrong. But what I be trying to say, bro, I would listen to me. I would give you donate $100 to your platform if you can get that FBA run on a neutral platform. Well, like I guarantee you, I'm gonna hit him with 2 facts because I ain't never seen somebody who always wrong. bro, but you can't debate him. He'll throw you out his thing. He'll
We
call
try
you.
to get him over on
Oh,
paradigm.
Yeah, let him talk. Come on, let him talk. Let him talk.
please. I tried to tell him, and look, I ain't trying to take away nothing for black people that we don't did, but he said that we are the reason that we won the Civil War at the Battle of Vicksburg. Otherwise, it would have been lost. I said the Battle of Antietam. I studied this stuff. It was the decisive war because that if we had not lost, if they lost that war, the British and the French, they were going to back whoever won that war with men, ships, guns, and everything. They made that clear. So I mean that battle right there. So after that battle, it allowed when they won. That's when Lincoln freed, like he issued that declaration. Okay, but this guy he just telling you something totally different. He said they needed to win, so your boy had freed the slaves, and we won the Battle of Vicksburg, and from there, that's when we won the war. I'm like, bro, that's not true, bro. That's not true. Let's stand on business. And then the dude Sanchez, I'm like, Sanchez, if you look back when you do science, man, you'll see that about 25,000 years ago, most of North America was up under ice. So where would the people stand? Like places like New York had glaciers 2 miles thick. It was 2 miles thick up under glaciers. It would have crushed anything. So I'm just trying to figure out what part his people, what part of America he was at. Like, was it lower, like way the tip of South America, or do he even know?
No,
just saying.
Wrong.
Hey man, I rest my case, man.
Yeah, funny guy. He'll come up here, get beat up. He got heart. Yeah, he got heart, and yeah, he stayed getting beat up, and then say he ain't lose.
Oh
yeah, shit. That's the main thing. Go ahead, Cedric.
Yeah, shout out to Ron. We were trying to get him to come over to Paradigm Shift. Initially, he agreed to come over there to debate me on this nonsense he been pushing. And at the last minute, he backed out. Of course, he doesn't want to mess up the bag. These people don't want to be in environments where their opinions and their points will be actually judged academically, right? They don't want that. So, like even interjecting Pan-Africanism into this Abo conversation, because that's what it is. I'm just pulling back the layers because the Abos disappeared. They just hid under the FBA, right? He doesn't want to have that. That's going to mess up the bag. So that's why they stay in their secure environments where they can talk their nonsense. What was aching me the most is the abuse of the out of Africa theory.
Oh man.
Listen. Listen, this is the reason we are always talking about evolution. Y'all don't get it, right? Once you do not understand evolution, you are going to say the nonsense that this man was saying yesterday. First of all, the term black as a phenotypical description of early humans that left Africa is a misnomer. When you use that, you are creating a particular paradigm. You are putting a particular phenotype to these people. This is incorrect. First of all. Second of all, mutations that happen outside of the continent is what quantifies non-African. It doesn't necessarily have to do with any admixture with Neanderthals, etc. Right? They represent 2 to 5% max outside of Africa, and even lower in North Africa, right? And with reducing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So that too is it's a technical conversation. However, when you see these out of Africa charts, folks, it is not that Ankh and I decide, you know what? Let's go on a round the world trip, and we jump on a plane and we head to North Africa and we catch a bus and and you see us driving down and we end up in South. It's not that, folks. This is thousands of years. There's bottlenecking because of people dying out, right? And then there's The founder of that, smaller groups break off and then they go and start larger groups. By the time you get to the Bering Straits, you are dealing with people that phenotypically look like the Inuits that are there now.
Yeah, it's an internet cult. Go ahead, Dizali. Go ahead. What'd you say, Timbo?
I want to ask both of y'all something, y'all too. The
But hold
word
on, freeze 1 second. Freeze that. Dizali, go ahead, add something. And then
Yeah,
next.
I really just wanted to piggyback off of what said was saying that people where they really get it messed up at, and when they have this slogan that black people were everywhere. No. Black people were not everywhere. We were not first everywhere. Just like said, those people did not catch a plane from Africa to damn North America. They had to walk there. By the time you hear me, by the time they done got there, radiation, food, admixture, all of that contributed to them no longer being what we would call black people. So that's where people get it mixed up from the jump. But yeah, go ahead, y'all.
That's a point right there. That's a point. That environment had already, caused damage to the quote unquote genes, man, and that causes the mutation. That's all the mutation is. It's like a mistake. That's it. Those random mutations, man. Great point. Go ahead, Timbo.
Okay, so I looked up the word black. So I found out the word black was a term given to us by the Spanish and Portuguese.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
You're correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that's why I was trying to say I prefer to be called African American, because that was like a degrade, like a racial term. That's when they start categorizing the races and stuff. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it took away your it actually it's just like when they say El Sudan, the soot. That's outside people looking at you and putting and characterizing you based off your skin color. So yeah, that's absolutely, and that's why I always argue that and indigenous people didn't even use the skin color thing like that. Europeans did it, and then they did something that was wild. They actually racialized it, right? They put a hierarchy on it. White was top notch, and the black was the ignorant people. And so, yeah, that's not something we called ourselves, but it's something that we end up holding on to in the '60s. Just trying to get back our dignity and just trying to make ourselves proud, right? Because the conditioning had already happened. 400 years of slavery, that conditioning had already set in. And remember, they had you saying that black is negative, and in the literature they produced, God was white, right? Your grandmothers them had the white Jesus on the. All this thing is mental. Angel food cake, the devil. Angel food cake is white. Devil food cake is black. Dirty, filthy, ugly, nasty is all black. So it's a psychological thing on here. So we just said the hell with it and find fashion and find African American fashion. We say shit, I'm black and I'm proud. See? So we turned it, but no, there is no black nation. There's no continent that subscribes to black, right? No, that's a colonial forced upon word that we took and modernized it and made it fashionable and made it sexy. You feel me?
I agree. And you know what's even crazier in these conversations? That's a beautiful fact, a beautiful point you just made. That shouldn't be overlooked. How humans, especially oppressed humans, can take terms, words that are meant to degrade and dehumanize them, and actually make you have those words, humanize them and flip them around. That's actually part of our ingenuity, being human. And the other thing I wanted to say, which we have to do a better job of, we have to stop letting these pseudos take the word melanin and put it on black.
Ooh, that's their favorite word.
I was just about to say that, bro.
They
I was just about what's good with it, y'all. I was just about to say that. Hey, it's nowhere in science ever.
How you doing, Gullah? How you doing, sir?
What's up,
good with it?
Gullah?
I said, what's up?
So that shit, no,
What's
then you
good with?
jumped in 100 miles an hour. Loudest mic on the panel. Good to hear from you there, Mr. Cole. You had something to add to the discussion, sir?
Yes, bro. I'm glad Sabio said that, 'cause that's why I came up here for. We need to start checking these niggas at the door with that damn word melanated, because there's nowhere in science is ever a word called melanated. It's melanistic. You got melanistic organisms, but there's no word in science ever in the history of science called the word melanated.
Yeah, they love that melanin.
Wait, isn't fish melanated too?
Every animal have both types and different types of melanin. All of us.
Right.
They be like the melanated man.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all melanated.
it's a word called melanistic, but it's no word called melanated. Nowhere.
Oh,
And
no.
melanistics indicate a hyperactivity of the dark melanin gene, and we use these terms in especially the animal world, right? Where melanin, right? You have T positive, T negative. It's a whole conversation, and we understand, especially those of us that enjoy animal genetics and stuff. We know all about the melanin and different types of melanin, which all humans possess. So that is a classic misnomer. But I want to just highlight the fact that y'all understand, based on that breakdown, why using the word black in the out of Africa theory cringes my blood.
Yes,
Hey, I
it
got a question for you,
Hold on, go ahead. Then we're gonna play this clip. Y'all talk.
Okay.
Y'all
So why?
don't have the elegance and grace like this guy does that I'm about to play. Y'all don't know what
Hey,
y'all talking.
so why
Yes.
do you think like people gravitate towards pseudo information? Do you think it has something to do with our believing brain?
What's about that?
Yes, that's part of it. That's part,
Absolutely.
that's part of it. And then the other part is all you gotta do is memorize it. There's no learning in that. Just memorize it. You don't have to learn. You get it? So
Right.
just say melanin and say we melanated beings, but you don't gotta learn about eumelanin. There's still melanin and eumelanin, right? There's still melanin. You know, that's strictly for the brain. All humans have that in their brain. Neomelanin. Okay? And then there's still melanin and eumelanin, right? One is the red, produces the red, right? Color, the freckles, and one produces the black pigment. And so it's the reason we rely on pseudoscience, because it's easy. The shit we talking about is hard and it's counterintuitive. The shit they talking about, it sounds like it makes sense.
It's simple,
Think
yeah.
about that, yo. It's
Can I
easy to
answer that?
digest. So let
Can
me
I
play
answer
this
that?
video. Don't let Reggie jump on in. So here we go. We're gonna dive here. We're gonna dive
Okay.
right here. Dive right here. And Morse carbon before you came. No, I don't want to play that one. Hold on. Here, I want this one. I want to do this one. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one. Let's do this one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Talk about self-love, combine with itself and create the millions upon billions of molecules that exist. That's what Dr. Sebi meant when he said before it was melanin, it was carbon, because melanin has the hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen atom in it, but it's the carbon that creates the molecule that allows it to stay together and create what we call organic life, because organic life is what carbon has assimilated, period. That's what organic life is. And so my book, Carbon Before Melanin, goes into, it explains why your hair texture is what it is. It explains why your complexion is what it is. It explains why some of us look the way we look. So this book, Carbon Before Melanin, is good for any human being on the planet that wants to trace back their ancestry to the original human family, the Twa and Buki Khoisan of Central and Southern Africa. But now, my fifth book.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about the fifth one. See this? So I played that because this is going to speak to Brother Reggie, because Reggie, out of all of us, was actually there. And what Reggie's probably going to say is you had people like Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, John Jackson, and them, right? Noted atheists, right? but they was actually trying to bring us information from a scientific perspective. They was trying to put you down with the anthropology and the evolution. They was doing that, right? But you had these, like Reggie said, you had these shadowers. They shadowed them. They stayed on the outskirts. These guys were trying to promote new age white people stuff. They used the incorrect white people, where John Henry Clarkson was using credited white people. That's the difference. Go ahead, Reggie. Would you like to say something about the carbon before melanin and how they, I don't know.
Absolutely. So these are people who are students of, I'm not even going to say all the time students of Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and the greats. They were underneath when I was around, and everybody was around. At best, they can only ask Dr. Ben a question, right? And if Dr. Ben didn't like the question, he would embarrass them, right? At best, because they at that time didn't know anything. So all of these people coming out right now, they weren't contemporaries of Dr. Ben as far as knowledge. They were around. That's all of them, right? And so I was 22, 23, 24 at a great seat. So Ankh is actually absolutely right. They were shadows. So now Dr. Ben is not around and Giap is not around. And so now they have free reign. My point, what Ankh, what you and Cedric should do is you should write a short paper, right? And sell it, right? And so the problem is every time you guys have to talk to these pseudos, you have to go back to square one. The issue is read my paper, right? Buy my paper, read my paper, right? Or I will refer to my paper, and that answers the question. We don't have a statement on these things in the modern world. There's no statement for our people. There's all this gish gallop and all of this pseudo talk, but you're in a good position, right, to write like an answer in a question. How do you deal with a pseudo that says this, right, out of Africa? How do you deal with a pseudo that tries to make the whole world black, right? Answer. And that's your statement. And because all the while that you have to do, you answer the same damn things. Don't you notice for the last 3 years, you ask why is evolution important? Why do you have to become scientific literate? So now if they don't like what you have to say, they have to answer it in some type of paper. But you have a great opportunity now to put the statements out there with the best scientific thinking, so that you don't have to deal. Sister, if the sister comes up, you say, sister, did you read our paper? This is what we say on that, right? And that finishes it. If they have a problem, try to critique what you say. You guys are, you and Gozi, Cedric, a few of you have the best opportunity to make a paper, a short paper, PDF, and sell it.
No, I'm working on it. I already, I got my man. Listen, I got so much. I'm making.
Right. I got a book already.
But the PDF will sell faster than the book and make the same amount of money.
Yeah, but I got an announcement that I'm going to make Sunday on Documentary Show. So, a very important announcement to speak to just what you talked about. So, I'm going about it the right way. Hooked up with an academic, with a person with a legitimate doctorate degree. And this is what Dr. Ben and John Henry Clarkson did. They was trying to figure out academics. They knew how you had to fight the fight. You had to go to the source of the bullshit. And the source of the bullshit in those days was in academics, because they was making up shit. They was claiming that the Egyptians were some people from the north somewhere, the invading race theory. These are the actual people rising in them. They actually went into Africa, right? They was milling around the skulls. Morton, they sent people like Morton the skulls, right? And so they was the source of the misinformation. And so, but there was a pushback, and Dr. Ben and them was using the scholars that was pushing back. Okay, and some points they overcorrected, but it's fine. But I'm saying, like you said, Reggie, we sit in the best position now. But my point was, we had no goddamn elders, bro. That's not what we had. We, you know what I'm saying? People pushed you down a totem pole because they wanted to produce misinformation, and they knew. See that I figured it out, Reggie. They knew you was more closer to what the hell John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben said, because out of all them niggas, when you start changing nigga underwear, yo, when you change Dr. Ben underwear because he done pissed on himself, yo, you spend a lot of time with that nigga, yo, at that point, bro. You get it? When John Henry Clark told you to shut the hell up when you're in Africa, when he said, go over here to this book, page such and such chapter, boo, 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 you spend a lot of time with him. Read this book to me, Reggie. You spent more time with him, so you was more aligned with what they were saying. The pseudos, the ones that we produce later on, the fake shrines, that's right, I said it. The pseudo shrines where you pour water out in the middle of New York, right? That's not African spirituality. That's New Age, Neo-Egyptian a culture produced by Europeans. That's what it is. And when I say something like that, niggas mad. But that's why they push you down the totem pole, bro, because you had the inside track, bro. So at no point was anybody, bro, gonna let you say that shit that you really needed to say. Yeah, shit you say is wild. You never was gonna get that chance, bro. So it's up to us. But that's why I fight you so much, because sometimes you say some wild shit, I'd be mad at you. Because I know where you sit at. I know what seat you sit in.
I don't say anything wild. It's all just in discussion.
Man, the skin map, you for me on that, man. Oh, I'm stopping, Mark.
you're gonna
call me a skin mapper.
Well, that's because you call me pseudo. What am I supposed to do?
Oh,
I ain't gonna take that shit.
A skin mapper.
We were the skin mapper. That was fun.
That was funny. I say, man, this man is crazy.
You pushed me to that. We were having a nice conversation, and then I hear the pseudo alert come out. And I'm like, but nevertheless, all of them were students. That's Ashra Kwesi, that's Tony Browder, right? So here's the difference. Well, the difference is show me something in print. I mean, on video, right? In transatlantic production, where they are talking. The only person that they allow, Dr. Ben allowed and Dr. Clark allowed to talk was Dr. Leonard Jeffries, right? Show me. Well, there was Charles Finch. I'm going to do a video on Charles Finch, even though I don't agree with everything he says. He was there, right?
What Dr. Ben say about Charles Finch? Let me hear it.
Huh?
What Dr. Ben say?
Well, Dr. Ben did not like Charles Finch because he was working with Van Sertima and Dr. Clark, and Dr. Van Sertima had a big problem, right? That Dr. Ben created. See, what happened with Van Sertima, he had one of the earliest journals, right? And that was important, right? To have one of the earliest journals. And so that was a compilation of different scholars, but Dr. Van Sertima didn't really want to include Dr. Ben in his journals, and that created a firestorm. Right? They used to critique Dr. Ben on his footnotes, saying that they weren't up to modern standards. Right?
Oh wow, Sertima saying that?
Of course.
Oh, that's crazy. We got somebody sound of music say, this the KK. They say we got the KKK mindset. I tell you what you won't do though. Sound of music. There, you won't hit that damn button. Right in the pack.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him in the chat. He's a recent chatty patty. So hit the link and let's dance.
That's Royal Rumble. Let's play this right here. Let's see.
Before you play that, let me just add it. I need to get it out of my system.
Get out your system.
All life on this planet, most of it, for 99%, is carbon based.
Yeah, that's the most abundant element. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So he flim-flam with referencing carbon in that program. It just was working on my nerve. I just needed to get that off. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
developed a relationship with Dr. Sebi. And again, going back to Dr. Richard King, remember I had already been doing research on melanin since like 1981, 1982. So by the time I met him, maybe 6 years later, I had already created a curriculum that I taught. That's also in the book, because I put the curriculum as section 2 in the book to help us understand how do you teach this to children. You know, because you just can't teach it like that. You got to take it in steps, but you have to understand it first. So section 1 is an overview and a development and introduction to the many aspects to understand: the sun, the plants, the skin, neuromelanin, which is the first melanin. Everybody's born in black, Brother Taki. Everybody's born when your daddy's spermatozoon, singular for spermatozoa, which is plural, fertilized your mommy's egg. It became a zygote. Then through mitosis, it began to multiply. When it multiplied, it became a blastula. B-L-A-S-T-U-L-A. I'm a teacher, got to spell. Became a blastula. When it became a blastula, it was in 3 sections. You had the you had the endoderm, the mesoderm was in the middle, and the ectoderm was on the inside. Okay, my bad. The endoderm was on the inside. The second layer around that was the mesoderm, and then the ectoderm was outside of that. The ectoderm, within 28 hours of the fetus being, let's say, conceived, it turns in the ectoderm, the outer turns in on itself, and that creates, and again, the book will explain it in more detail. I'm just going to break it to you so that you can understand it. That is where your brain, your spinal cord, your organs, your glands, your gastrointestinal tract, they're all born in that blackness. And then
did all that. See,
you see how they
turn right? He said every turn right, yo. That's the point.
Every turn right. Explain the process right. So what he was explaining is that the skin is the first organ that is formed, right?
He said neomelanin was first. Remember, that's in the brain, but I don't know. He tripping. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that whole derm explanation is the 3 layers of the skin, right? So to put it in layman's term, yes, the skin is the largest organ and it is the first organ formed. However, to claim that it is formed in quote unquote blackness as the skin, the dermis is then black, no, it's not. As a matter of fact, all children are born with their melanin not really activated. It is based on your interaction with the sun, your vitamin D, vitamin K, your liver. Once that gets started, then your pigmentation becomes activated. So what darkness, what blackness is he talking about? What?
No, I ain't just tripping, yo.
He explained that process right up until that point, and then hit you with the pseudoism. That's what the pseudos do. The flim flam.
His mistake is applying everything to humans for the purposes of black humans. So Diop had said it earlier. Mammals in all mammals have melanin. So you're talking about the mice, you're talking about everything. So he wants to apply it to humans as if humans have superpowers. And that's the big thing. So Diop was smart enough to say all mammals have melanin, right? So now once you do it like that, then he's trying to make this black man, black woman more important, but he's forgetting about the other mammals. And so that's where that comes in. And his retort would always be, I'm just trying to get people to think. No. And I know him. He lives in my neighborhood, right? So I see him more often than a lot of people. But the thing is, you guys have to develop a question and answer that people can look to. A book, again, you can do it your way because you want to get into academia. But for the purposes of the people, many of these things come up over and over again that you can just clobber it.
Interesting.
Interesting idea, Reggie. I'll explore that idea. Especially, I keep complaining about people not understanding these out of Africa or migratory maps when we put them down. I think I need to slow down and explain population genetics and how these
One time in a pamphlet.
Yeah,
One
you
time. And you can always say if there's an update to it, you can always sell an update because there's always going to be slight updates. But the fact of the matter, edition 1, you know, in the course you might get to edition 10. But in the beginning, it's like, this is what we have prepared. What have you prepared? You ain't wrote shit, right? Right? You haven't written anything. Here's what we wrote. This is our statement. Like, it's just like, you know, how, you know, for example, Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa has Kawaida theory, right? It has a statement, right? You always go back to your statement, and then most of these people, they haven't written anything. They're just responding in the moment. So you have an opportunity to kill them. And then even when some scholars or book publishers, pseudo publishers, you can say, this is what we say, this is what you said, these are your mistakes based on our pamphlet, right? And let them say, I haven't read it, I don't have time. Well, that's the problem, right? You buy everything else or you sell everything else. You have the money, so why didn't you buy
it? Let me make sure I got this right. I want to hear him again, right? I want to give everybody a fair thing. So based off what I learned about biology and the development of the fetus, it would be pheomelanin and pheomelanin and eumelanin actually is produced maybe 5 to 6 weeks in the fetus. It's not the neomelanin. Let's see. Let's see what he said. Maybe I want to make sure I got this right.
He said neuromelanin
was first. Let me see.
Developed a relationship with Dr. Sebi. And again, going back to Dr. Richard King, remember I had already been doing research on melanin since like 1981, 1982. So by the time I met him, maybe 6 years later, I had already created a curriculum that I taught. That's also in the book, because I put the curriculum as section 2 in the book to help us understand how do you teach this to children. You know, because you just can't teach it like that. You got to take it in steps, but you have to understand it first. So section 1 is an overview and a development and introduction to the many aspects to understand: the sun, the plant, the skin, neuromelanin, which is the first melanin.
Yeah, neuromelanin. Let me make sure.
I met him when so he was in the Institute of Youth in ASCAP.
Yeah, so no, it's not. You know, it's not neuromelanin, man. It's eumelanin and pheomelanin, yo, and because it has something to do, originates the melanocytes.
Yeah, and the dermis is the first organ that is developed. So obviously, the melanocytes that are going to be in the skin are the first to appear. Neomelanin starts to develop at the point that the nervous system starts to develop, which is the 6 to 7 weeks into development, right? That is part of the nervous system. But the skin is the first organ. So Ankh is right.
So it's not. It's not. You know, the timing is all wrong. Neomelanin has something to do with the brain. Remember, it's not present at birth.
No, isn't the heart the first organ?
Right. So no, I'm just saying that in newborns and the fetus lack visible neuromelanin. You know what I'm saying? So it actually produces. It starts to accumulate slowly after birth, right? And then increases across childhood and adolescence and adulthood. I mean,
you missed the main part of what he was saying. he was designing curriculum for K.
I don't even want to get it.
No, but he was designing curriculum for K through 12.
Mine.
So
Yeah,
you kind of missed
however,
that.
this is in K to 12 material, right?
Man.
Yeah. So he was designing it on that level. It's the same way he was doing with plant biology, right? So then he was introducing human for K through 12. So you slightly missed that, but I'm familiar with.
No, I didn't miss that he was feeding the young babies misinformation, pseudoscientific. I just didn't want to say it yet.
Oh, well, he was trying to get them to think about these concepts, and he used that, but that wasn't a full-fledged the way it worked. Right?
No, it was completely wrong.
Okay, I have to see his curriculum to see exactly.
We just dealing with what he said, Reg.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's not that doesn't appear until after the fetus comes out of the womb. Okay, pheomelanin, eumelanin, and pheomelanin it comes from the melanocytes that develops 5 to 6 weeks in the womb. So that's the first melanin, not the neuromelanin. That has nothing to do with the melanocytes. He's just completely wrong, and I refuse to give him a break on that, bro. So he was actually he was informing the babies with wild information, following Richard King and Dr. Pseudo Sadie. Richard King was wild. He messed up the whole community with the foolery and melanin. Completely wild. Somebody got to say it, bro.
The first person that I believe that talked about melanin was Dr. Frances Cress Wilson as a medical doctor. She's the one who introduced it. And then after that,
Richard King, I think it was Richard King was first, bro, because they all mentioned Richard King, right, Reg?
No, Richard King, I think he gets involved later.
Really?
I think Frances Cress Wilson, she introduces it earlier to substantiate her later ISIS paper. And then Dr. Richard King and them, they created a consortium, the Melanin Consortium. And I promised that I would not show that to y'all, but I have to go and find it because now you can throw them all under the bus. The Melanin Consortium
So all human beings have the same components of melanin. However, what varies is to the degree of which melanocyte or of which of these type of melanin is expressed, right? And the same melanin that is within the human biology, again, is true. It ranges out to all throughout the all mammal kingdom, right? There's the dark melanin and the red melanin, and all humans have varying degrees.
All mammals.
All mammals, including humans, have varying degrees of these two types of melanin. It's
Correct.
again based on your environment, right? And adaptation is what is going to be expressed and increasingly so over time. In colder climates where you have less UVV based on folic acid, the lighter the skin, the greater your chances to reach the age of reproduction. Once folic acid has been disrupted, especially in fetal development, you get spinal cord deformation, you get brain deformation, and these do not produce viable offspring. This reverse, this will happen in reverse, where you have in a higher UVB environment, lighter skin is going to create adverse reactions whereby the offspring are not going to reach the age of reproduction. Right, the darker the skin, right, the greater the chances of reproduction, and this is how these populations are formed, along with bottlenecking, etc. You get these groups of population based on the environment. But that melanin conversation is null and void.
All right, let me get this. So right here we got a El Buddha. He says no Black American would hate their own lineage so much that they openly attack the concept of FBA. They say we need to pull some ancestry records because these dudes are anchor babies. I don't know what that means. Cosplaying as a Black American. What is that? What do you mean?
Anchor babies are first generation. You know, your parents were immigrants, and they came and had a baby over on this soil. Something about it'll give them, you know, reason to darn stay here. Anchor baby, anchor you to America.
Yeah, and the parents need to be illegal.
And cosplaying
is you're pretending to be an American, so you're dressing up as, talking as, pretending. Now everybody knows I'm not an American. I'm not in America, so I don't know.
This Negro is named El Buddha. El Buddha. No Buddha. Let me get this straight. He has a Buddha icon, right, in the chatty, Patty, El Buddha. Check this out, El Buddha. As long as you have the audacity of you to have a Buddha to come up here and tell who cosplaying. To me, my man, you seem to be cosplaying Asians.
Worse, L. He got L in front of it. He got the god L, and then
you know he's a Moor. He's a Moor. El Buddha. He's a pseudo.
He's a moron. He's what I call a moron.
Oh my goodness!
A moron.
You know he gotta get it. There's a red flag on the play, and on top of the goddamn real flag, there's a. So if you talking trash and your name is El Buddha,
yeah,
you talking about I'm cosplaying and I'm an anchor baby, what the hell you anchor to?
Talk to your grandfather with your name El Buddha, and he'll tell you that you're cosplaying. Talk to your granddaddy.
You know what? Do we correct people that we love, or do we correct people that we hate? See, that's where these people get it mixed up. You correct people that you love. Just because you correct someone doesn't mean that you're hating on them. You know, if my mother wrong, I've reached the age now whereas I can actually correct her. Just like the conversation y'all were just having with the elders, with some of the elders who gave out information that wasn't, you know, correct then. We should have corrected them. That is not saying that you hate them. That's where these FBAs get it twisted up at.
Now, I don't care what you call yourself, FBA, AB, ABA, NOBOY, right? But don't come in here and put out misinformation and disinformation, right, that lies to African Americans. We are a marginalized community, and we seek to know the damn truth and understand who we are and where we come from. So at no point, I don't give a damn what you call your damn self, make it accurate. Don't be acting like it's a political movement. Ain't got no damn political movement, no damn FBA. That's silliness. It's outright silliness. And none of them can stand up to the scrutiny. What's up, MVP? Pseudo killer official. What's good, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see y'all in here going to work on FBA. Full-blooded idiots. Pseudo's got to eat too.
Good MVPPKO.
What man. Yeah, man. First of all, FBA adults, it's a bunch of nonsense. One of the things that they do is they focus on the Black experience. Meaning what they do is they point the finger at the Black experience and not at the institutions that help oppress the Black and create the Black experience over here in this country. They tend to point the finger at what we want as a people and not point the finger towards people that we are trying to get policies from. So it's really just one big circular argument that they're creating. And that's why I believe that they are feds. You know what I'm saying? I believe that they were placed here. Tariq Nasheed and company, even what's the guy's name? Brother, I forgot his name, the crazy one you was dealing with up there on that panel all day. He's not understanding the basis of the argument. You understand what I'm saying? When we were calling for reparations, we were calling for reparations for Black people in America. What they started doing was recreating the narrative, trying to say, well, only FBA, which is foundational Black Americans. They weren't necessarily addressing the Black experience. They weren't addressing free Black communities prior to 1865. They weren't doing any of that. They started creating their own lineage, which in fact disrupts our policy wins that we are trying to garner for ourselves. So I just want to stop it there. I think their arguments are very linear and how can I say it without cussing? Very linear and insignificant. I'll say very linear and insignificant. So, I mean, it's really not a hard argument. Like the argument that Brother Sanchez was up there mentioning, that's his name. He's up there talking about we calling ourselves Egyptians and stuff like that. Like, man, that's a talking point. Ain't no black people running up in Congress or running into the city council talking about something, we Egyptians and we want reparations. They'll look at you like a fool and laugh. What they use that for is a talking point to argue against the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? And our attempts to continue to fight for our civil rights over here in this country. They don't have a plan. They don't have a black plan. Reggie even wrote a book called The Black Plan. They haven't produced anything like that, but they just continue to argue and gather themselves in these echo chambers on YouTube, which in turn turn into anti-black echo chambers where they just sitting up there cooning and talking about they be one first. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really a lot of nonsense. And this is why they don't come up here on these panels and have the conversation. It's why you'll never see them come up here and have a coherent conversation about what it is they want. They're trying to create a new identity for black people in this country, no different than Hebrew Israelites, Abos, who else we got? Egyptomaniacs. All of it is based on a bunch of a lot of misinformation. And what it does is it poisons the well. We'll never be able to garner any policies for ourselves because that's what politics is, guys. It's about what people group gets what. You understand what I'm saying? That's what politics is, and that's what policies are. You understand what I'm saying? You got people now running for office or they're trying to fight for people to get in office under the FBA term. You understand what I'm saying? Which marginalizes the African experience in this country, saying that they are not African, that they are in fact full-blooded Americans. This doesn't make any sense. Any sense. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to share that with y'all. Like it's really a bunch of circular arguments being made up there. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, take it away.
Can I add on briefly?
Hold on. Let me read this. That's another one. What Ankh, I don't know whether he misspelled that. Spell my name right. What Ankh and them are doing is using propaganda to persuade the uninformed. Really, yo? Like you won't hit that link. Hey, Donnie, you won't hit that link neither. You routinely talk trash, Donnie.
Let me
talk regular trash. You think you got me with that DNA test. You know I got it. You know I got the old one because mine upgrade. You know I got that, Donnie. I'm just holding it. See, because you're a Chief X supporter, Donnie, and you talk trash. Regular trash, Donnie. But what I've never seen you do, Donnie, is have an intelligent conversation, Donnie. That's what you're afraid to do. You're afraid to have a conversation, Donnie. See, I can admit when I make a mistake. I can admit when I mischaracterize my DNA test. That's okay. See, I don't have a problem with that. 15 years ago, when ain't nobody have a damn DNA test. Nobody was even talking about DNA. Remember that, yo. Me and me and Ishmael Law was the first people to show our damn DNA tests. Remember that, bro. The first people in the daggone quote-unquote community. Never forget that, Donnie. I'm a fucking pioneer, nigga. Put some respect on my name, yo. All right?
Donnie Williams has been a hater for years for absolutely no reason. Has absolutely been a hater. But let me say this as the only foreigner on the panel. The only foreigner on the panel. I'm gonna have the balls to say it because I said it a long time ago in our back chats, in our Discord. FBA is COINTELPRO. FBA was designed to move the conversation away from reparations and create an identity war again. These dudes that are funding the channels like Pseudo Ron, who's part of the scam, right? He's getting cash apps from individuals who we don't even know, never seen, right? And this is part of the COINTELPRO. I said that from the moment the Abos came on the scene. These channels are extremely large, got thousands of views. These guys are monetized, making a whole bunch of money. selling misinformation, and the conversation has long since been away from HR 40 or any type of governmental structure, no terms of how this would best be applied. The conversation has regressed into an identity battle. So it has effectively nullified the reparations conversation. And I said it years ago, it's COINTELPRO.
I don't even think it's that important to nullify anything. It's just an internet conversation. And they're delusional when they apply 41 to 42 million of it. It's nonsense. It's about 1,500 nuts running around crazy with no intelligence. That's what I'm saying. All right. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to call FBA Ron the Feds. I don't think he's that. I think he just found a niche that he can rock out in. He has every right.
Yeah, useful. They're useful idiots. Yeah, they're useful idiots.
Promote the misinformation, though. Don't allow people around you, like quote unquote, FBA Sanchez. See, since there is no leader, you got everybody fighting for that #1 spot. But it's all based in misinformation. It's not rational. It's not. It is not rational to say the things they say. Denzali, what's up? Say something to us.
Yeah, building on what y'all on right now. I think these guys are just vultures. They are opportunistic because, like you said, they are getting money for this stuff that they are putting out on these airways now. FBA Ron personally said that he knows that he descends from Africans, but over half of his congregation are on that. We've always been here. We don't have any connection to Africa tip. Why are you allowing those people in your chat to be moderators, to come up on your damn panel with that foolishness, with that misinformation? So just like Sanchez, I was in a back room with Sanchez once, and Sanchez said he don't really believe that flat Earth stuff. It just makes money for him. So these people making money. But let me fall back.
Hey, go ahead, Black T. I'm glad you had some heart to hit the panel. What's up? Talk to us. Express yourself.
Nah, I don't think you need heart to get this panel.
You said what?
Nah, I said I don't think you need heart to address this panel.
Well, go ahead. Well, no, the fact you got up here shows heart.
Okay, all right. Nah. I'm just saying. I say I'm FBA. I say I'm ADOS. I say I'm Freedman. I say I'm Black American.
No problem.
What's the problem?
I have no problem with that. But your comments you made was out kilter. You feel
what
me?
Comment? Which comment?
You made the comment about, let's see. Let's back it up here.
Which one? I make a lot of comments. I just want to narrow it down.
Let's do this. So why do you feel that we don't know what we're talking about? Yeah, let's do that. Let you have your say.
Why? No, maybe the comment you're talking about. Maybe the comment you're talking about is about the propaganda.
Yeah. What are we doing? Talk to us. You got your say.
The only thing I say you guys don't know what you're talking about is that you kind of generalize FBA. From what I see, FBA is just equivalent to an African American, Black American, or you can say they're freedmen or whatever anybody else wants to call themselves. It's generally a Black American, somebody that was born a Black American is born in America. I don't see why you have a problem with that.
I don't have. I like that. The way you said that, no issue. No issue. I swear.
All right, so I'm one of those FBA that thinks like that. So when you're journalizing FBA, and you're saying all these other things, it's not, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
But I do understand that African Americans are diverse, and there's a lot of opinions of what people believe and what they think and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
But to narrow it down to put it all on FBA is just not right.
So
it seems like you all are fascinated with Tariq Nasheed.
Okay. So do we have a reason behind that?
What? A reason behind
on why? Because he's the one that actually popularized the thing, and so actually,
and he popularized it because somebody told him to. He was down with another movement. We were trying to, I guess, be down with another movement, and they didn't appreciate him and they didn't want him. So they told him to kick rocks. So I guess he kicked rocks. And I respect that organization too, ADOS.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you talk about
that's an organization. The other ones, they say they're not an organization.
All right, so hold on, let me talk about FBA, African Americans, and ADOS. question to you is
Black Americans prefer.
Black Americans, okay, and yeah, I say Black Americans for political reasons. I like Black Americans. I say it for political reasons, right? Because I'm Black, God proud. And I know what we went through. Let me say this: the ethnogenesis of FBA and African Americans. Can you explain that ethnogenesis? This is the litmus test. Can you explain that?
Almost definitely. The difference of the ethnogenesis would be, I guess, early America, colonial periods when there was blacks, whites, and Native Americans both in this country, and they had to live together, and they did live together, even before, I guess, maybe before the codification of slavery. And they made it, and they intertwined. And I guess with the addition of the African population, the slave population, kind of absorbed the Indian population, and they were combined, basically, and with white too, the white too. So that was the ethnogenesis. I can bet from the 1500s to the 1800s. Yeah.
So you don't actually think it was black people in the Americas before colonial powers got here, or Columbus and them, huh?
It depends on what you call black. I guess they were probably melanated people. I guess people that were brown, I guess, or appear maybe had color. Yeah, people of color.
But not.
I don't know if it was exactly the Africans came over. I guess it's possible, but not proven.
Oh, it's possible. Oh, there it goes. The possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. I mean,
okay.
Atlantis is possible, I guess.
Okay. All right, we're gonna let you. You did a good job, Ben. Benny, you wanted to say something? You did a good job, Black T. I don't know why you was talking shit in the damn chat then. Black T. Jesus.
Just different times, different points y'all make. I don't agree with it. It's not everything. There's some points y'all make.
Like what?
When you overgeneralize FBA to say they're this and they're that and they don't do this, it's not the case. You're using propaganda. Using like one person says something, you go, oh, that's it, that's them. Come on, you can't. It's fools everywhere.
Hey, Black T. So you with us then? You saying they fools? Let me get this straight.
No, there's fools in the Pan-Africanist community. There's a lot of foolishness going on over there. Fool with that Sinetta community. There's a lot of fools with that Sinetta community. Oh my God, it's just that's almost a complete joke.
I told y'all, all they got is talking points. I told y'all, nothing serious, just a lot of talking points.
Hey, we're not.
What talking points? What are you saying? Ask me a question.
Hold on, Black T. Hold on. I'm saying I'm not bashing Sarnetta, right? Because Sarnetta is that one that brought that community, you know what I'm saying, from outside of Harlem.
That's right.
I'm not saying Sarnetta. I'm not trying to say specifically. I'm saying the community, the whole community. That whole, it's just kind of weird.
It includes anybody that's talking. Remember, it was outside, yo. He's at the start of. It's prominent figures that start the online community, yo. Right? Which includes myself. So just because people get on there and wild out, that was Sarnetta's role. His role was to give anybody the mic. My role is scientific literacy. Ankh and them, they were some of the first people. They job is to talk that crazy nonsense. Right? It is what it was, and that made up what would later on become what they call the conscious community. So I'm not never bashing Sarnetta because he do what he do well. That's all I'm saying. Now I might laugh and joke, but as for you though, I'm banging on the fools like you banging on the fools. I didn't say I never speak in absolutes. If you speak in absolutes, you're absolutely wrong. What I'm saying is the majority of FBA don't get up here and talk like you. That's my point. Go ahead, Chris. Let Chris handle it.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on. Chris said everything I was going to say anyway, but I just want to say, it's Ben. I just want to say between you and Cedric, just keep filling that vacuum of information, man, between scholarship and our social conscious.
Well, A.T. Bo. Yeah, I'm conscious community famous, nigga. He say, I don't think he's famous. I'm conscious community famous. How about that now? Now. It's enough for me. All right? Might not be prominent African American famous, but I'm sure as hell conscious community famous. Don't hate, man. Don't hate me. Hate the game, man. The game made me, man. Come on, man. I don't got no inflation for what's going on. Come on, bro.
Where the other FBA bosses at? I don't hear y'all. Do you have a point now? I'm an FBA here. Now you got your point. You got your chance.
No, you already bowed down, nigga. You agree with that?
Not you, not you. I didn't agree with you. I didn't agree with y'all. I agree with myself. Not you, of these other people.
You literally
Question.
just
I got a
agreed.
question for him. Let's just get right down to it.
Talking points.
I got a question for him.
Go ahead, Chris.
I have one too. Do you believe Africans deserve reparations?
Do Africans deserve reparations?
Yes.
From who?
From America, from the European nations, colonizers, etc. Do you believe
I
Africans
think
deserve it?
I think black Americans deserve reparations from America.
Okay, so black Americans are Africans.
Which country in Africa? Africa's a continent.
Africa's a
So
continent that has been
I don't know the
colonized by
political
the
entity
European
that's called
powers.
Africa.
That's why he said
Okay,
Black Americans, brother.
so I said black Americans. I said black Americans are Africans. I asked you a simple question. And if you want to talk about, I believe Africa deserves reparations too, because the colonial superpowers siphon all their resources from them. Africa deserves reparations from the world. That's why I asked you, do Africans deserve reparations?
Okay, now can I answer the question? I don't believe people on the continent of Africa deserve reparations from America. I believe
Why not?
Africans played a role. Now let me finish. I
Then
believe
that's where we
Africans
disagree.
played a. Let me finish. Then you could disagree. I believe Africans, specifically tribes in West Africa, played a significant role in slavery, and they should probably be playing reparations to Black Americans, certain tribes in West Africa.
What
That's
certain
my
tribes are you?
stance.
Hold on, don't say nothing. No. We done already addressed it. Let's address it now.
The slave trading tribes.
Watch
The
this one.
slave trading tribes that are available now.
Thank you. Okay, so let me ask you a question. There are many tribes in West Africa. What tribes are you necessarily talking about?
You can you can pick them in.
You can just look it up. You can just Google it.
The Yoruba. The
And these
Yoruba.
tribes have
Yeah, you can
constantly
get it.
been dissolved
You can it's allowed.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, let's
already.
hold on.
Let's
slow down.
what you want?
Slow
One
down.
second. I know what you want me to do. You want me to say some fact so you can say, oh, we don't know the facts, so you don't know what you're talking about. It's already written. It's already documented. Who
Okay,
was
now you're
slave trading
trying
tribes?
to. Okay. Can I talk?
No, you actually don't.
Okay.
He actually don't know. He actually don't know the facts. Well, go ahead.
Gullah. Let me get him. I've been telling him for a minute now. So the question I asked you is, what slave trading tribes are you talking about? You couldn't name one. No African tribe benefited from slavery. They did not benefit financially. They didn't garner any resources from it. Nothing happened.
Okay. Yeah, you're backing it up with
Slavery
what?
is. So let's be honest.
And
Slavery is
you're backing it up with what
Hold
information?
on.
Now, where you get that information from?
Excuse me. You're cutting me off. Is that fair? We can agree to disagree, and you can be wrong, and I can be wrong, but we're gonna have this discussion today. What I'm saying is, most of you all get up here with these talking points, and you guys like to argue in circles. You really don't have any facts, and I'm showing it right now. I don't even have to continue the discussion with you because I'm showing you you're not even my equal up here on this board. You're saying the Yoruba people. Which group? You know how many groups of people call themselves Yoruba in Africa? It's just not one specific group, one specific clan. What year?
The country of
Benin.
Benin.
Who are they trading with?
The country of Benin. The Dahomey. Whatever other the Dahomey, the Benin.
Hold on.
Now what?
Hold on. Now what this? First of all, Benin and the Oyo King and Yoruba had wars with each other. So both of your fucking ancestors come from both of those opposing tribes. Yoruba and the homie are fine. Both slavers and victims were on the boat. Your immediate ancestors were enslaved as well. If they were on the wrong side of the war, you don't even know your history.
Hey, that's a great
I don't know my history.
Hey, Black T.
Did I dispute that?
No,
You're being argumentative for no reason.
He's not arguing. He's making the point. Let me say this, Black T. So I do not call African Americans Africans, right? They're not continental Africans. They're a whole nother ethnic group. That's
agree.
I'm gonna stand on that for myself. Everybody
I agree.
got a tradition, but for me, speaking for myself, we have developed a brand new ethnic group in the Americas based off of mixing with Europeans, small amounts of indigenous population, which is not us, no matter what the hell their skin color is, and enslaved Africans. That's it. Okay, so we're not continental Africans, but at the end of the day, it makes no sense to bash people because they are a damn immigrant. That's the wildest thing ever. Now, we supposed to defend our culture and stand on that. I'm gonna stand on my culture. I never think that I'm an African because I was born in Africa. I say I'm African because Africa's born in me. But that's a statement. That's just my personal thing. But when I'm having a technical conversation, I recognize the ethnogenesis. I'm not a continental African. I don't even understand that culture. I don't eat the way they eat. And even the things that I brought with me, my ancestors brought with me, I do them, right? And I've learned to understand, hey man, some of this is that we brought over from Africa, right? So you got African culture that was modernized into Americas based off of ethnogenesis. We put the flavor in the shit, bro. Right? And so I'm never trying to disconnect myself from the continent of Africa. Now, I ain't trying to overwhoop it. I want to honor my ancestors in America because we fought in every goddamn war. World War I, World War II. We was the Buffalo Soldiers. We killed the Native Americans. We did every goddamn thing. We fought in the Civil War. We fought on both sides. It was a war of liberation for us. So I recognize the greatness of African Americans that developed several music genres. You know what I'm saying? That is at the foundation of America. You know what I'm saying? That is deserve reparations. My point is that it's wild when people get up on these damn platforms and play the FBA card. They ain't saying what you saying, bro. Right? They have no technical knowledge. First of all, no Africans enslaved Africans. Let's get that straight. Let's get it straight. I'm gonna say it again. No Africans enslaved Africans. You have framed that wrong. That's a colonial statement, not based in the reality. Now,
what do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call that system?
I call it the Dahomey, which is a ethnic group, an African nation in Africa, right? That have economy. You know what I'm saying? That had slaves, but then we'd have to talk about, well, what was slavery in Africa? We got to talk about all that. But at no point did Africans enslave Africans. You're basically saying when you say that, I enslaved my sister and I enslaved my brother.
I mean, that's semantics. I will recognize I use today's terms for something that happened in the past. There were several different tribes. They were warring, and they caught each other, and they sold to the Europeans on the coast.
But they had a busing. Listen to what I'm saying. Before colonial powers got to Africa, they already had slave markets, bro. That was part of the markets. That was part of the African markets was slaves. One, they didn't have a penal system. So I don't know what the hell you thought they supposed to do with the criminals. So people will say that the Africans floated across the savannah. They was blameless in everything they did. That's bullshit. They had criminals like everybody else. So what would you expect them to do to the criminals? You had people that owe money and debt. You know niggas don't like to pay their bills sometimes. They don't have it. So they worked it off. They called that form of slavery. Being a criminal, he was put into slavery. A prisoners of war is part of slavery. Then you had some ruthless motherfuckers that were just snatching some people simply because, which was actually against the rules and the regulations. And so I think that education needs to happen before we talk that shit. That Africans
against who rules of regulations if they weren't unified? If they wasn't unified, what rules and regulations were people following? Different tribes, different tribes had their own rules and regulations.
Yeah, but the Romans.
But that's the thing. I would say that's the thing, though.
Franks. That don't make no sense, yo. They was different nations. They fought each other. They enslaved you. That's what humans do. They fight.
Yep.
They love. They cheat. They steal. What you want me to say?
Right.
No, you're making it different. I said, what are rules and regulations? You're saying there's some rules and regulations
right now. What African country? What Africans? Ask him what African country or what African continent or what African tribe benefited from the transatlantic slave trade. Because the transatlantic slave trade was an institution. It became an institution. It was the global fucking economy. So tell him, I want him to know. I can't hear him right now for some odd reason. Something's not coming through my speaker. I need him to answer that question.
Well, I think
let me tell you something. Because these guys, I don't know how old they are. But it doesn't matter what question I can answer. What question I can answer and can't answer doesn't change the facts. Or what it is.
Trouble. Well,
you're trying to say if I get something wrong, then everything you say is wrong. Come on, man. You guys are jokes. That's why you guys are jokes.
Black T, that's not
Some,
true.
some of you guys, not you. I'm talking about the people that's talking. The guy that I'm talking. The one guy that was just
No,
talking.
I'm just
Talk a
saying the
lot.
fact. No, I'm saying the fact is
He's
people
trying.
on
He's
the
trying to
boat.
challenge me instead of challenging the facts. Instead of challenging the
No, the
facts and
fact.
the
No, the
ideology,
fact. No,
you want to
listen.
make
No,
it
listen.
about me.
The fact is the people on the boat. If the people on the boat is enslaved and victims, like I said, if you were caught on the wrong side of war, or if you were on the wrong side of war, the people on the boat would have did the same thing for their ops anyway. So your immediate ancestors was enslaved too, or the same damn victim. They just got caught on the wrong side of the war. If
Exactly.
motherfuckers Europeans change, if the
Then we
Europeans change
became
their
one.
mind, if the Europeans changed their mind and went to another African kingdom, they were fighting with the people they were getting from originally. They had both people, bro. Like it don't matter. Like
Okay, so now I know what you want me to do. You want me to say the big bad European came and snatched these poor little Africans, and all of the Africans
ain't nobody
are
saying that.
victims.
Ain't nobody saying
And,
that.
and the European, the big bad
I didn't
guy, the
say
big
that.
bad European, that's what I should be focusing on, and
I
that's
didn't
my
say that.
enemy.
Ain't nobody say that.
Okay, I'll take that out of the argument.
All right, let's move the conversation. First of all, that's not true. Actually, if you study the history of the Portuguese, they got beat the hell up when they was slavery, and they got beat down, and they was forced to follow the African trading system. I'm gonna say this again.
That's a fact.
When the Europeans came in there, they got beat the fuck up. They got beat down. You had African Marines, right, with war canoes, with 100, 200 men, with poison arrows and metal tip spears, and beat the shit out of them. The malaria helped jumped in with it too.
Yeah,
But
been
they
a
chased
millennium.
them out of there, right? They said that the Europeans say, "Oh shit, this is not working." They couldn't get translators. The translators would fake them out. It just was crazy. They was like, "This is not working. The full frontal attack ain't working." So what they had to do was learn African rules and regulations. They did they made it's like a whole game now. We just in the fucking fourth quarter right now. So they made an adjustment in the first goddamn quarter and say, yo, we're just gonna follow the system. And then they ease they shit in real smooth, they changed their game. Before you know it, right? Now they getting bodies from Africa. It ain't like the first people trading with them knew where the hell they was taking them. They thought it was the regular old, slavery as usual. It wasn't. So I'm saying is it was a time period where they did know they was taking niggas way over there. But by that point, yo, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell y'all. So it's a complex conversation. I'm not on you for getting shit wrong. That ain't what I'm doing. We all gonna get stuff wrong in this conversation, and it's all good. So let me let some heat in here. I want to hey Thunder, hold on, because you're gonna mess up the whole thing on purpose. You're gonna talk crazy. Ifa, what's up, man? It's my man from B-More, man. What's good, Ifa, man? Appreciate you being the server. Appreciate you being a friend of mine for the last 50 years, yo. What's up?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, bro. What's on your mind?
Listen, there's a lot of this conversation is heavy. Why it's heavy is because it's just not based on one person's ideology. I don't know why everybody keeps talking about Tariq, even if he started. But through political science, it can be an ethnogenesis, foundational Black American. Why is it an issue with everybody? Everybody not saying that they're Native American, mixed, or anything like that. So just like you have different ideologies within Pan-Africanism, it's the same thing with foundational Black American. But go ahead, brother.
That's a hell of a great point there. That kind of
false equivocation.
I'd like to respond to.
Go ahead, Fontaine. You next. Go ahead, Fontaine. Come on, Senator Fontaine, go.
Go ahead, Fontaine.
Okay, so what's up, y'all? So I want to say, like, when you say why do we have a problem with it? For one, FBA is like a social media movement. It's really not actually doing anything. Like ADOS actually was pushing for lineage-based reparations, talking to politicians and lobbying with politicians to get them to push reparations. FBA is literally not doing anything. It's a social media movement, as well as all they're doing is saying, hey, we're not like the Africans. We're not like the Jamaicans. They're just delineating and separating Black people. It's not serving any actual purpose. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting on someone to say, hey, since Tariq or since FBA came around, this is what they've done. But they none of them can tell me.
None of them can tell you.
Go ahead. Yeah. So to answer that question is, when anything starts, it takes a time period for things to rally up to a point where it gets moved to legislation. Everyone knows that. When you look at the coined phrase African American, what was that coined in 1782 by an unknown article writer? And then it got its start afterwards. So don't act like things can't start a certain way and then go into a situation where it becomes politically viable for people to use. Come on, man, let's stop doing it.
That's fair.
I'll respond to that. That's not how I'm acting. But what I actually said was, since it has been started, tell me what it has accomplished. So you're saying, oh, we just starting a social media movement. We get people talking about it. So in 10 years, we'll introduce something. That's basically what you're saying. When ADOS has already, why not just, because the person that started this FBA movement was a part of ADOS at first. Then he left and started something new. Why? When they were already making the moves. What were they doing that was incorrect that he's correcting now with FBA?
Because you're being disingenuous, because he came from ADOS, and so he started his own splinter off of it. Okay, well, okay, and that's fine. I'm corroborating what you're saying, but what I'm telling you, so what's wrong with that? That he splintered off from ADOS and wants to start something new. Whether it's,
can I tell you what's wrong
we're
with
on social media right now. What's the difference?
But I'm not claiming the movement though. What I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Like I just said, I don't think y'all listening. ADOS was pushing and dealing with politicians to push lineage-based reparations, HR 40, etc. What is FBA doing in this space?
I just answered you that it takes time for momentum to build up for any political. Look at how the Panthers start.
Sound like excuses.
No. Actually analyze how the Panthers got started. How did it get started?
How long did it take ADOS?
Group.
How long did
it was
take
a
ADOS
college group.
It didn't take ADOS that long.
The Panthers supposing that being a Black Panther is their identity. So the cross-equivocation, I want to address 2 quick points. Every time you interject Pan-Africanism,
I think it's fair to use either FBA.
Yo, I just want to say this, and I'm gonna mute back out. ADOS started in 2016, and they also started pushing for reparations in 2016, the same year. But go ahead and tell me how we need to wait 5 more years for FBA.
Let me do this because we kind of running out of time. I want to get Thunder in here. Man, he gonna mess up the whole show. Guarantee that. It's not
Before you let Thunder go, please let me.
Yeah, but you can't talk long, yo. You gotta make a quick shot.
2 seconds. Interjecting Pan-Africanism into the FBA conversation is a category error. It's 2 separate things. Pan-Africanism doesn't propose to give you any type of identity, right? And the issue with FBA is the bait and switch when we talk about ethnogenesis. Ethnogenesis of the African American is based on 3 things, right? The founding effect, the group of Africans that came over, and the 2 small groups that were admixed in, which creates this new identity, African American. But when you look at what the FBA stands for, that's some nonsense.
Wrap it up. All right, go ahead, Thunder. I'm gonna let Thunder get in. I'm gonna let everybody make their final statement. Go ahead, Thunder. All right, that's it, man. Thank you, Thunder. Let me get Billy. Nah, go ahead, Thunder.
How y'all doing, man? Hopefully you all are in an area that will be unaffected by this snow, winter storm or whatever. If you are, then of course go ahead, hit the Walmart, man. Take you $200 and stack up, you know. Let me ask you a question. Did you say, and I want to just yes or no, did you say that Africans didn't enslave Africans? Is that what you said?
I said that. That's a colonial idea. That's crazy.
How long have we? How many months did we discuss Queen Nzinga?
Yeah, but she wasn't enslaving other Africans. She was enslaving other nations, fighting against.
You mean other Africans in those nations?
No.
Hey, listen. Do you want to have a debate on did Africans enslave Africans? Do you want to do that on the community of skeptics? Me and you.
Not a problem. That's
okay. Good. So just set that up whenever you're ready. And now, can we agree on that title?
Yes, but you gotta listen to me, yo. You
never. No, I don't want to listen to right now. I can listen when we had a debate.
They never say white people and say white people.
Let's not have a discussion now. what I want you to do is let's create a debate. The title of debate will be the title of the debate will be did Africans enslave Africans
Anytime you ready.
at any point in human history?
Yeah, but you
Can we agree on that title?
You're gonna have to fight with the term African. That's what.
Okay, good. All right. So, all right. Again, thank you, man. Let's let me know whenever you're ready, and we can.
I'm ready later on Friday. I don't need to study for it.
Okay, good. So just whenever you're ready, let me know, and we can discuss. All right.
We get 5-minute rounds.
5-minute rounds. I probably won't need that long, but
whatever you need, bet, because you're not comprehending, yo. That's
no. We just let's talk about it at the debate.
All right.
Did Africans enslave Africans at any time in human history? Is that the title?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Hey,
thank you, man.
I appreciate you.
Love you, bro.
Appreciate you, Thunder.
Love you, man.
Go ahead, Ben. Same here. Go ahead, Ben.
All
go ahead.
Before, man, just can you hear me?
I can hear you down clear, bro.
All right. Yeah, just keep filling that vacuum, man. Keep filling that vacuum of misinformation. Just keep giving it to the people, man. That's all.
All right. Did you get in the server yet?
Yeah, I'm on the server.
Okay. All right, bet, man. Add to it, man. Need you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Black T. Appreciate you. Definitely was an intelligent FBA. Appreciate you, bro. Go ahead and add your closing remarks. Go ahead, bro. Appreciate you.
I would just say I'm FBA, Adolf, Black American, and a Freedman all in one.
How about African American? Damn it.
What? No African American. No.
See, now we got to fight. Because everything you just said is what makes up the African American. See? Yeah. That's all African American mean. An African American is a foundational Black American. That's it.
Okay. Yes, your definition. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So
I just want to make one more point.
Go ahead.
Just one more point.
All right,
it's just as far as Tariq Nasheed, Yvette Carnell, and Antonio Moore. I respect all three of them. I believe Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell are very, very intelligent, and they are a movement. And Tariq Nasheed is very intelligent, but he's an entertainer, and he's making money. And I believe in his ideology, some of it, most of it. But that's the only point I want to make. That I wish people would more go head on with Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell as far as going on talking points and going and battling them versus going on Tariq Nasheed. I know you can make money with Tariq Nasheed, but I think it'll be more academic if you try to focus on Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell and see if you can keep up.
Yeah, of course I can keep up. They ain't saying nothing. They ain't acting like we come from Black Indians and Black explorers and traders. All right, let's come to the next one. Fontaine, what's up, brother? Pseudo Killer, what's good, man? Go ahead, finish close statement.
Nothing much, man. Shout out to the Pseudo Killers. I just want to say that ADO started in 2016, and in 2016, ADO started pushing for reparations. So the excuse that you need years to push for reparations, I just want people to accept that, yo, this dude started a grift, and I fell for it, and I rock with the grift. Just like, once you say that, then I'll just shut up, and I don't have no problem. And all the man has done since started FBA is start a website and sell merch. So to act like this is actually a movement, bro, y'all adults, bro. Just be honest. And that's all I want to say, bro. Shout out to Pseudo Killers. I always appreciate you all. And we gonna link, bro. I ain't playing by that comedy show, bro.
No, we just gonna link. It's all great. We appreciate you, man. Pseudo Killer. Hey, Sabio, what's up? Close the statement. Make it quick. Gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, you know it. I just want to say it like this. If you claim to be ADOS, FBA, or any of that, then you are admitting that you're an African American. So stop running from it and trying to hide. Just accept who you are. Stop lying to yourself and saying you don't have an identity and that you got to make one up. Peace.
All right, let's go, Dali.
All right, we have a problem in our Black communities. We have a problem with pseudology. We have a problem with people not wanting to lean upon academia. We have a problem with people who fall victim to grifters and scammers. We have a problem. I'm sure that myself, pseudo killers, and other people will be addressing this in the future. But the first thing is people have to understand that we have a problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man, for adding to the acclimate, the scientific literacy every time you speak, brother. Appreciate you, man. Gullah, what's up? Closing statement. All right.
What's good with it, y'all? My closing statement is, sure, that people say they only want to be called black, but sure, they call us black because we're African. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like they call black, you know, they call black people black because we have African descent, and most of the things we do, even though it's remixed up under survival, you know what I'm saying, in this country, it's still, you know what I'm saying, African in essence. The things that they do, the things that describe our culture, you know what I'm saying, even though it's, you know what I'm saying, amalgamated, but the dominant culture trait in our culture is Western Central African tradition. And plus, reparations too is a complex situation too. So, what do you do about the Liberians? Liberians come from African Americans. A lot of people slowly on descent from African Americans that were sent there. Did you forget that Liberia was an American colony in Africa?
That's a powerful point right there, Cedric.
Man, we just gonna keep working. See y'all on the next one, and be careful with the flim flam.
Man, show some love, man. Hit the damn Cash App, man. Man, we had that super chat right here. With Timbo. He said, I gotta get back to work, but stay destroying the pseudoscience. Ron FBA, I'm on you. Know you in the chat. Laugh out loud, man. Appreciate that donation, man. Let me see if we got any donations on the Cash App today. Make sure I call y'all out. And nope, I ain't getting no donations today. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody that do support and don't just sit there, right? Stand up and fuck with who fuck with you. Man, I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We doing our thing all the way, man. We doing it because we gotta do it, man.